Hi, everybody. This is Rue, Cutie Rue with Legally Cute, and we are bringing you some more Legally Cute tonight. I just wanted to say we have some really great games going on tonight. We have a Stardew Valley with Blackheart Wings, and then we're gonna have later on a few Kirby games, Kirby's Crystal Shards, as well as Kirby's Adventure. So stay tuned for that with Dark Soul. And we are going to start with Stardew Valley with Blackheart Wings. Say hi, Blackheart Wings.
Hi, I'm Blackheart Wings, and I'm going to be running Craftsroom for you guys today.
And so I am definitely looking forward to it. So whenever you're ready, just let us know when you're down with the countdown, and we'll start from there.
All right. Before I do a quick countdown, I just want to talk about my setup really quickly. I made a few choices here on the screen that are super important to the run. For example, I picked the forest farm. This is really important for foraging. It's kind of a pivotal part of the Craftsroom run, and I'll explain it when I get into it a little bit more. I also went into the multiplayer options. I picked 3 starter cabins and a separate cabin layout. This means that I can sleep in separate cabins that are scattered across the farm. That way I can make it to, like, I don't have to run all the way back to the top farm, like my top house. And that should be everything. So, oh yeah, obviously we skipped the intro. And there will be a cat showing up at some point in the run. It's faster to say no to the cat. I'm sorry, guys. And yeah, okay. Now that should be everything. So, time starts when I hit OK. And I'll do a countdown of 3. Sound good?
Sounds good. Whenever you're ready.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go. So, one of the first things we do in Craftsroom is immediately go to sleep. And we sleep for several weeks. I'm going to be sleeping until the 13th of spring. This gives me a chance, or rather, it gives the farm a chance to spawn in a whole bunch of forageable items. Craftsroom, basically, just to give you guys a brief summary of what this run is about while I'm sleeping through the days. In Stardew Valley, one of the first milestones of game completion is completing either the community center or Joja Mart, depending on which route you choose, because you can get multiple endings in Stardew Valley, naturally. And if you opt for the community center route, the Craftsroom is one of the first, or it is the first room that you have access to in order to complete bundles. The goal of this speedrun is to complete the bundle as fast as possible. All right, it's the 13th, so I'm going to be running outside.
I love the music.
I'm also going to zoom out. The music is so soothing, and it's my favorite part, or one of my favorite parts about the run. So I'm also going to be doing, you can see that I'm like chopping wood really quickly. I'm not hitting it properly, but I'm doing my best. This is animation canceling.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so this isn't normal. So if I were to just press and hold my axe, this is about the normal rate that you can chop down trees. I'm chopping down trees to make a chest, by the way, so I can store all of my items. But animation canceling is a hard-coded, it's hard-coded in the game. It's a leftover debug tool that Concerned Ape left in the game. And us speedrunners, we use it to go fast, so it enables me to like pick up things super quickly. I can chop down trees really quickly. Okay, so this is the left side of the farm. This is where I'm going to be getting most of my forageables. Wonderful. My biggest concern was the moral. This only spawns in the spring on either the forest farm or the secret woods. Sometimes it doesn't want to show up. So I'm glad that it did.
Oh, okay, that's good. So then that's good it showed up.
It's definitely good that it showed up. So I'm just going to sleep here super duper quickly, and I'm going to sleep until the 27th. So, animation canceling. If you hit like R, right shift, and delete, that is like the 3 key code that allows you to animation canceling. If you If you hit those 3 keys as you are performing an action, like swinging your scythe or your axe, you can cancel the animation and you don't have to do the whole thing. And it makes the actions super duper fast. It's a really great tech. It's really great tech. Because the keys are like super duper awkward, because like imagine having to hit the R key, the delete key, and the right shift key at the same time as you're trying to run around and do things. That doesn't work. So as a community, we decided that it would be okay to rebind these keys to whatever is most convenient for you. Also, I'm hitting Y to sleep super duper quickly as soon as the dialogue shows up. Yay, we've got sun. Wonderful. This is Marnie. She is offering us a cat. I know I didn't sleep in this house, but she's here regardless.
So they just show up no matter what?
Yeah, it's like a pre-loaded event that happens in the game. I'm just gonna chop these down super duper quickly. So yeah, we decided as a community that it would be okay to rebind the keys that I had mentioned earlier. And at first we only allowed 3, like 1-to-1, meaning you could only have like you could only have the R key bound to a different key, and you could only have like the shift key bound to one key. However, we have recently ruled that it's okay to have 3-to-1 binding for animation canceling, specifically, alongside another 3-button bind. That's mostly used in glitch runs. But yeah, so now if you want, you're more than welcome to. Sorry,
okay.
I'm super focused on getting the stuff in. 1, 2, 3, 4.
That's okay.
I'm gonna put all of these tools in. Yes, this is what I want. Okay, beautiful. Let me clear this area out as well. So yeah, if you want, you're totally welcome to bind R, right shift, and delete to one key and make everything easier. We also are running, we're here at the bus stop because I need daffodils. Daffodils are the one missing thing that I needed. That rock always gets in my way.
That little rock is weird.
This little guy is so mean to me. He's always so mean to me.
Yeah. I like how do I put it? The hitboxes sometimes are a little interesting.
They're little trolls, you know? Sometimes they just love to get in your way. But yeah, so I'm running over to the community center right now. I just skipped the cutscene that like lets us into the community center. And I need to read this little text here. You can see the little Junimo, our little friendly forest friend. There, I read the whole thing.
That was awesome.
And my work here is done. I can totally head back, and that is the end of spring. We are good to go. I have all of the forageables that I need, and I'm just gonna go and sleep for another couple of weeks.
I love that you can sleep for weeks at a time.
It's like the fastest way to go through the days. I can just shift into bed again and go to sleep, and then that'll be it. That'll be all that I need. It's pretty great. I'm gonna put this one daffodil in, and now I'm gonna sell all of this stuff.
Oh, Junimos. Honestly, love Junimos, by the way. I know I'm not seeing them right now, but honestly, they're just so cute. I think they're little apples with arms and legs, but that's just
really
my theory.
What they look like. They're just the cutest little bundles of joy and happiness. I love them very much.
They are super, super cute. I keep on forgetting their name until someone mentions it, though. I'll be like, the little apple creatures, and they're like, Junimos? I'm like, yeah, that one.
They're very cute. I love them so much. Okay, that rumbling noise is an earthquake. This happens every summer 3rd in the first year. It's an automatic event. It happens every year. It unlocks like a different part of the map that was previously like blocked off for you. Nothing to worry about. This is something that we see coming. But yeah, Rue, I need you to do me a favor.
What's up?
So at the end of the summer, not when I leave right now on the 13th, but on the 26th, I need you to remind me to read the mail.
Okay, so the 26th. Read the mail.
On the 26th, yes.
Okay.
Reading the mail is super duper important because it lets me talk to the wizard.
Oh.
And lately I've been forgetting to go and talk to the wizard.
Oh.
Which is not great.
Oh.
Because he's the one who lets me be able to read the Junimo text, you know, that long text of strange symbols that I totally took the time to look over. That text, he allows me to read it, and that's basically what triggers the ability to start depositing things into the community center. You can't continue the run until you talk to the wizard, and you need to get his letter in the mail in order to talk to him in the first place.
Now I'm just going to be focused on the 26th this whole entire time. I'm not going to do anything else. I'm just going to watch the 26th happen.
I'm desperately hoping that I don't forget, but I figure that it's good enough to have a backup just in case.
Yeah. I'm totally happy to help too.
I appreciate it, Rue.
I mean, to be honest with you, it's easy for me to watch it, so I can watch for you.
All right, I'm just gonna shift on through here, and I'm gonna sleep in this cabin. It's a little bit faster this way. Oh, this is like, I really love this run because it's super comfy and cozy and like you can sleep for weeks. Normally, under normal circumstances, I would be sleeping straight until the end of the season. However, RNG in Stardew Valley is notoriously brutal. It's really, really rough. Like, it can and it will make you hurt. Sometimes I've had runs where I've walked out at the end of the season and none of the items that I needed will have spawned on my farm. It's another reason why I leave early is kind of, you can chalk it up to basically like an RNG manipulation because all of the forageables on the farm are randomized. There's no way to like see if it's seeded because we do have seeded runs. The seed does not affect the everything on the farm. Everything on the farm is still completely randomized. Okay, it's the 26th. I'm gonna go check the mail. Also, this is a flash warning, a photosensitivity warning. When I check the mail, I'm gonna check it super duper quickly, which means that the screen is going to flash very, very aggressively. If you are photosensitive, I definitely suggest looking away. It will be short, but it's still really aggressive. So look away right now. I will let you know when you are good to look. This has been your warning. Here we go. Got it. All right. We are good to go.
By the way, nice job on the remembering. Yay! I was ready for it.
I'm so nervous. I was like, oh dear. Oh my goodness.
By the way, this weather has been pretty nice, honestly.
Oh yeah. I got all of the weather that I needed when I needed it. Honestly, the big thing is that I need it to be sunny at the end of spring because otherwise I can't get that first cutscene, the first cutscene that I skipped with Mayor Lewis to play. That is the only prerequisite, is that you have to show up in town after 8 a.m. and it needs to be sunny. Everything else doesn't really matter. But the weather is kind of important. Speaking of important weather, what I'm doing important things rather. I have to collect 25 pieces of stone and as much coal as I can. Optimally, I will get 5 pieces of coal. If I don't get 5 pieces of coal, that's fine. I got 2, which is pretty good. This is to make a furnace later on in the run. It'll let me upgrade my axe, which is pretty important for the late stage of the game. All right, this is the weekend wagon lady. She can be very mean to me. She can be very mean to like Stardew runners in general. Because this is where we get our exotics. We got 1 though, which is good. There are certain... I think that's it. You know what? That's fine. I'll take it. This is a really reset heavy part of the run, especially if you're going for PB attempts or world record. The weekend wagon lady is... we need very specific forageable items. They're called exotic forageable items. They're really... Skip that cutscene there. They're really important for the community center for completing the crafts room. You can't complete it without going to the weekend wagon lady and getting at least 2 of these exotic forageable items. One of them is the cave carrot, which we got, which is really great. You can also get any of the syrups that you can tap from the trees, being, you know, the maple syrup. I have my notes down here. The maple syrup, the resin, or the pine tar. Or a coconut. So you've got 5 or 6 options to pick from. Oh my gosh. That sound effect, by the way, was lightning hitting a tree and just destroying it. Very, very mean. But yeah, another huge reset heavy part of the run is, oh, that's convenient that I have that there. Very reset heavy part of the run is just hoping that the weekend wagon lady has what you need. So right now, I'm gonna gather up all of the things that I need for the community center and just booking it. That is everything. I'm going to forage here at the bus stop. Just because I need the money. Economy is also a really important factor in this run because you need money to purchase from the weekend wagon lady. And sometimes she will absolutely give you a run for your money. I once needed one last exotic and she was selling a coconut for 1,000 gold.
Oh.
And it was faster to take the coconut than it was to wait. So I basically let her take pretty much all my money.
Oh, wow. Yeah, because you have 1,029 right now.
Yeah, so money is tight but important. It's also why I chose to play as a female character. We usually make around 5,000 gold this run, which means that I can get an extra 500 gold from my mom in the mail.
Oh, so how much does a male make?
So if you play as a man, I'm supposed to be doing the summer bundle. If you play as a man, you also get 500. Once you make one, I think it's 1,500 gold. This is the exotic foraging bundle, by the way, which is why we need the moral and the cave carrot. This is everything else we need. The red mushroom and the purple mushroom we won't get until the summer. I'm just gonna deposit that mushroom, grab these 2, and we'll be out of here. I'm gonna try and do this really cool trick. I hope it'll let me. Yes! Okay, I got the trick. So this is basically, you can use animation canceling to start moving in the middle of this cutscene. This is still legal and glitchless, by the way. You can see me just standing there at the entrance to the community center. And this is totally legal and glitchless, I promise. I love getting that trick. It's great.
That's actually a pretty neat one. That's really cool. I still need to understand the tricks and everything myself.
Yeah, it's, we have a few. Honestly, our biggest one is animation canceling. But we have a few really cool tricks. I had a backup strat that was having to get to the secret forest early. I'm glad I didn't have to use it, because that's like a whole bunch of extra minutes. I'm gonna shop, I'm gonna get some copper, 45, and then 3. Beautiful. This is all to upgrade our axe later on in the run, so I can get hardwood and wrap up the building bundle, which is in our craftsroom bundle. But we're doing pretty well so far.
Yeah.
RNG has actually been really nice to me. I'm a little nervous.
Yeah, the RNG, like, let's just hope, pray, RNG, don't just stay this way. Don't change, RNG.
Oh, the winter is another really big RNG fest. Hopefully it won't come to, you know, anything bad. Jeez. Oh gosh, that lightning is always scary. So I'm gonna sleep straight until the fall. Fall first. And I'm gonna talk to Clint. Because I bought all of this copper, I can make copper bars now. Hello, Clint. I need to grab some stuff from here. Let's do this. Beep, beep, beep. Let's put this furnace down. And I'm gonna craft some copper bars while I sleep. It's so much faster to just like sleep through the days. I can pick up a copper bar, set in my new copper, go to sleep, and it'll be ready by the time that it's the morning. Once I put in this last one, I'm going to sleep again, straight through to the 13th. And my sleeping through to the 13th is mainly a backup strat. Under normal circumstances, you wouldn't be doing this. You would be sleeping straight through to fall 26th. This is just to make sure I get all of the forageables that I need so I can actually finish the crafts room. That is why the estimate is so generous. The estimate is incredibly generous because RNG can and will make your life miserable. It can be very, very brutal. I also need to keep an eye out for an exotic. I think I might leave today, actually.
Oh, do you mind just really one quick to answer this question between the male and female again? I know it's a money difference, but
so once you make 1,500 gold, once you make 1,500 gold, you get another letter from your parents. And if you play as a male character, you get cookies in the mail. If you play as a female character, you get an extra 500 gold. It's really big in like economy-based games, like economy-based runs rather. Craftsroom is one of them. Marriage percent is another. Okay, we got the red mushroom, which I'm not mad about. I'm gonna sleep in this cabin over here. So like if I get lucky enough to actually make the extra 10,000 gold, oh no, not the owl. I can check my mail and get another 500 gold just in case. So that's why I picked the female character. If I played as a male and I made the extra 15,000, well, the extra 10,000 on top of the 5,000, I would get cookies instead, which is not what we want. Cookies are great and all. They're a fantastic snack, but I need the money more.
For the speedrun, money is more important, I think, in this case.
Yes, absolutely.
I do like that there is a difference, though. Like, you get cookies as a male. It's kind of...
It's the only thing that the gender affects, too. Like, it doesn't affect anything else. It's just the gifts that you get in the mail.
That's interesting. I didn't know that, to be honest.
It's a really small thing, but it makes a big difference in the speedruns. You can see me if you if you look at my hands. I'm spamming Y. Y is a shortcut both for like emoting. You can pull up the emote wheel. But it also lets you like hit yes really quickly. Ball 26. Okay, here we go. I really hope I get a purple mushroom. There we go. Amazing. It's right there. It was waiting for me. That hooting that we heard earlier, that was this owl statue spawning. It's one of a handful of overnight events that are also randomized. Though if you play a seeded run, you can pick and choose which ones you get or don't get, if you get any at all, via the seed. But yeah, you just get unlucky. If you get an overnight cutscene, it wastes a little bit of time, but that's fine. It's not really something within the realm of my control. I am going down to say hi to the weekend wagon lady again.
I like the weekend wagon lady. Sorry. I'm such a mature adult, I promise.
It just has like a really nice mouthfeel to it, I think. That's why I say it. Do you have anything for me? No. No such luck for me today. That's fine. I'll check again in the winter. If push comes to shove, then I can just check a lot in the winter. Like I said, the weekend wagon lady is a huge reset point for a lot of us. If you're going for PB attempts, you want to get 2 exotics within the first check. If you don't get the 2 exotics within the first check, then you reset. That's my main reset point when I'm going for sub 30 attempts. And just for context as to how difficult it is, I've been doing sub 30 attempts. I've been trying to get under 30 minutes. My PB currently is 30 minutes and 9 seconds. I have not been able to shave off those last 9 seconds thanks to RNG since October. It's brutal.
Sorry, we're sending weekend wagon lady prayers to you through chat.
Aw, that's the best. Thank you. In my stream, I have a channel points redemption that says "Bless the Run," and those always come up when I'm dealing with weekend wagon lady.
I love the weekend wagon lady.
Good.
I love how it just
It's
rolls.
great.
It rolls, seriously. It rolls really well.
I feel like another really good alliteration would be weekend wagon woman because it's 3 W's, but I'm just used to saying lady, so that's why I say it the way that I do. All right, we're back in the community center. I'm going to be depositing all of my fall forage, which I've gotten. I did get the hazelnut right. Yes, I did. Okay, whoops. Hazelnut, plum, blackberry. Beautiful. We got everything that we needed. Amazing. Wonderful. I'm going to pop these 2 in. That should be everything. I'm going to grab these fall seeds and... Oh, I'm blocking the poor Junimo's way. Let me try and get out of your way, buddy. There we go. Oh gosh. Now I'm sightless moving. Oh, there we go.
Chat's coming up with some interesting names for the lady.
Oh, do tell. I'd love to hear them.
Late week Lori lady? Lorry?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Lori, okay.
Yeah. Weekend wagon woman as the goddess of the Stardew Valley universe. I like some of the names.
I think that last one, that really, it works for this run at the very least. She's goddess of the craftsman run.
Yeah, we didn't see her too much in the marriage one. She was not there. Yeah,
You hardly
she wasn't
see
there.
her. She is a key player. Okay, so I've upgraded my axe. This is going to come in. Very important. This is, we're almost done, by the way.
Oh, wow.
So there are a few things that we still need to do. I still need that last exotic, which might eat up a lot of time. I'm hoping it doesn't, but it might. And I also need to run around and get some money to talk to. I also need like all of the stuff for the construction bundle with a couple of exceptions. So tail end of the run, second half is here already. I'm going to grab my wood, put the scythe away, and grab the hoe. Ooh, whoops. A little bit of a finger fumble there. But I'm going to sleep until winter 5th. I just dropped my notes. I have retrieved my notes.
Noted.
The winter part of the run can get a little bit convoluted. It depends a lot on your economy. It depends a lot on some of the things that you've picked up already. Oh gosh, it's an experience and a half. But because I don't have a lot of money, I have a good idea as to how I'm going to go about this. All right, it is winter 5th. First things first, I'm gonna run over here. I'm gonna check the bus stop. This is Krobus. Hi, Krobus. Bye, Krobus. I'm gonna pick up the crocus.
Hi, bye.
All right, we've got a few crocuses up here, but not the crystal fruit, which is what we want. That is awesome. We got the winter root. Okay, and the snow yam. Incredible. Amazing. I don't have to dig like a mad woman. Okay.
RNG, yes.
RNG was like, you can have the winter root and the snow yams, but the exotic, you're gonna have to work for it. So on that note, well, I do also need my crystal flower as well. So I'm gonna head down, and going around this way, no, not me getting stuck on the greenhouse. Going around this way is a lot faster because you don't have to contend with all of the trees and the stumps and the everything. It's like an automatic clear path, which makes things so much easier to deal with. All right, weekend wagon lady, what you got for me? She only shows up, by the way, on Fridays and on Sundays. So if I were to come down here on a Saturday, she wouldn't be here. I'll pick up this holly while I'm at it. Hello, ma'am. Do you have something for me? Another cave carrot. I can't do that. Dang it. Okay. In the meantime, I think what I'm going to do... Let me go this way. I'll go and pick up my axe from town.
Okay, the winter music is one of my favorites, besides the market. And there was another one.
The night market is beautiful music. Is there anything decent in these trash cans? No. No such luck. All right, Clint opens up at 9, so I should be able to pick up my axe super duper quickly. Basically, what I'm going to do is a big circle. There we go, copper axe. I'm going to... I have my axe. Let me just move this really quickly. I don't need my hoe very much anymore, so I'm gonna run up this way to check the backwoods. And see if I can get that crystal fruit. If I can't, I think I might just sleep. This is usually where the run will go a little bit haywire and you really need to think on your feet. Lots of crocuses. Lots of crocuses. I'm hoping maybe if I can at least get the star fruit, I can come back to the community center, deposit everything, and then enact like the last little bit of the run, get a bit of extra money. But we'll see. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Right now, I don't have a ton of money, so I won't be talking to Robin just yet. We need 99 stone and 198 pieces of wood in order to finish the construction bundle in Crafts Room. I could... There we go! Amazing! The one solitary crystal fruit. There we go.
Let's go. Oh, inventory.
I need to make room for it.
Yeah. I was gonna say inventory. No, not inventory.
Okay. So, I'm going to do as much of this as I can. I can do both the construction bundle, hopefully, and the winter bundle, which means all I have left is the exotics. Which, I've never happened to me before. Usually the construction bundle is the last thing that I have to deal with, but that's marathon luck for you, isn't it? Or showcase luck, rather.
I don't know what it is about the classroom, but I actually would hang out in this place. Not the way it is, but once it's done. I remember completing it,
yeah.
and I was like, this is actually kind of nice.
It's really pretty.
Yeah.
It's lovely once it's done.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm good to go with all of this. So let me grab this. Yes. Okay. Can I? Oh, I can't. Can I animation cancel? Will you let me? Is that a thing that you'll let me do? Oh.
Oh.
Oh. When my menu comes up, that means that I've done something right. Oh. Oh, I got stuck. It's hard. It can be difficult doing that movement sightless. So I'm gonna run down to Pierre's. I'm gonna sell all of this stuff, and I'm gonna pick up, because hopefully I'll have the money by then. Yeah. Okay. I'm thinking, is this the best idea? But I'm already here, so we might as well. You know, why not?
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, let's scratch that for a minute. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna sleep on the bottom. This is why I have the separated cabins, because there is a cabin that is right here by the south side. I want to conserve my money just to make sure that I can buy something at the wagon. That's the intelligent thing to do. That would be smart. So I'm gonna save my money, and I'm gonna sleep down here, and I'm gonna sleep until, let me just get rid of this here. Get rid of these guys because they are going to make life difficult. I'm gonna sleep until the Saturday. I'm gonna sleep until Saturday.
I still can't get over that. I remember like
Sunday.
Every time I played this game, I was always like, time is precious for the moment I wake up. When I played it casually.
Pierre, leave me alone. I don't want to talk to you right now. Go away. Wagon lady, please have something for me. Oh, please.
Yeah. Wagon lady, please.
This is the RNG. It's so mean. It can be so mean. Let me see. Oh, we got maple syrup. Beautiful. Okay, that's it.
Yay!
That's all we needed.
It was nice. It was nice this time around. I think
My backup.
I think the rock is what did the trick for everything.
I just needed that extra rock. I just needed the one piece of stone. That's
Yep.
it.
Or
So in the meantime,
yeah.
while I'm waiting for Robin to open up, I'm gonna take care of these. I'm gonna get the hardwood that I need. While animation canceling. I love animation canceling. Like, I think it's really cool and interesting tech, but it's also got this thing where it's really easy to learn but difficult to master. I struggle with it a lot. Sometimes I do a really good job with it, but other times it's like, Blackheart, what are you doing? But it's definitely worth learning because it saves an incredible amount of time.
Yeah, I was actually kind of curious, like how much of a time difference does it actually save? Because it looks way faster, and I might just want to do this casually, just for fun.
So the amount of time save it actually gives you varies depending on the tool in question. Some tools animation cancel faster than others. The watering can, for example, you can just do it really, really quickly. It's the same with the scythe. You can animation cancel super duper quickly. There are other things like the pickaxe and the copper axe that you need a little bit more timing and coordination. I'm still waiting for Robin to open, so I'm just gonna chop this tree down. It'll save me a little bit of money in the long run. If I can get it, please. There you go. Thank you. Please, animation canceling, please. My issue with animation canceling is that I'm too fast. Because that is a thing that you can do. You can be too fast to animation cancel. Sometimes. Sometimes you don't actually want to go super duper fast. 97. And I'm out of money. Cool. I'll be back, Robin. It's a little bit of a wonky end to this run, but I'm making it work.
I mean, honestly, things have been going pretty well, I think.
This actually went way smoother than I expected it was going to. I had backups upon backups just thought up and saved, so I'm just gonna pop this in. Here we go. I should have hit shift. If you hit shift while you're selecting items for any of the bundles, it will just go in. Oh, I don't have enough of any of this. Let's just put the hardwood in. Okay. I'm gonna grab the Autumn's Bounty and I'm out of here. No cutscene playing this time.
I forgot how many times the cutscenes played at certain ones. I can't remember all of them. I just remember like they would for certain. I hope I'm making sense.
It's like the first one, the third one, and the fifth, and the last one, if I remember correctly. Okay.
Because I think like the first one's to show you like the initiation, and then later on they kind of do it again just to kind of remind you. And then like there was like the last one.
Yeah, the last one, which is that's the final cutscene with the Junimos, but we're just about done. I just have to buy this last handful of wood and stone, and we'll be good to go. I need to do math though. I don't like doing math. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There we go. Okay, that's everything. We're in the clear now.
Yay!
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 So once I deposit these, the final cutscene will start to play, and time will be when the room flashes and everything is repaired. I will call time, but it's coming up super duper soon, so ready on time there.
Okay.
All right, there we go. I don't even need to grab the last item. The cutscene will just start playing. But yeah, that's Crafts from Glitchless.
Ah, that was time.
1 second and time.
Time. Okay. Aww. I love these little guys.
Go?
I know, there's no star.
Where did it go?
Question marks? Star, please.
Okay. There, they have to grab it from the hut. I always forget that. I never actually watched this cutscene.
Gotcha. I forgot about it too, to be honest. I thought it was like maybe a glitch for a second.
But yeah, I think they grabbed this. Yeah, they grabbed the star from the hut and then they start following you around. But yeah, that's Crafts from Glitchless.
Well, while we have a minute, was there anything you want to say? Any plugins or where people can find the Stardew Valley community for speedrunning, if they have any questions, anything like that?
Yeah, for sure. All right. So you can find us, the Stardew Valley. I love my community, by the way. Shout outs to the Stardew Valley speedrunning community and the Discord. I love you guys so much. We're really cozy and we're really friendly. We'll do our best to answer any questions. You can find us on speedrun.com. So that's speedrun.com/Stardew_Valley. We also have a link to our Discord there. We're more than happy to take any questions, any comments. We are currently like in the middle of revamping our leaderboards. So hopefully that will open up to like extra categories and like lots of fun new ways to run the game. So that's pending. That's what we're working on right now. I'm also a moderator for the Stardew speedrunning community. So I'm also more than happy to take any questions if anybody has any. You can find me on Twitch. That's twitch.tv/blackheartwings. You can also find me on Twitter. Though my Twitter is less speedrun focused and it's more like my own little corner of the internet. I do post my stream updates there though, if you're interested. And yeah, if you're interested in running crafts rooms specifically, there is a really great guide on speedrun.com that was written by Robopossum, who is the world record holder. I definitely suggest it. I have it printed out. I have the notes right here. But yeah, shout outs to Possum and shout outs to the rest of the Stardew speedrunning community. And you know, if you're interested in more women speedrunning, check out Frost Fatales coming up Sunday. It starts on Sunday.
Yep, Sunday.
But yeah,
there will be a pre-show.
Yeah. So that's it for me. Also, Leon, if you're watching, hi. Thanks so much for your support. And Alex, both Alexes. Now I'm done. Rue, thank you so much for having me. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah, of course. I honestly, the RNG was just chef's kiss. Okay, so
it
on
worked
that
out really well.
Yes, it did. On that note, okay, we are going to take a break and we are going to go into our next game with our runner, Dark Soul 88, and we'll be bringing you some Kirby. Just stay tuned for more Legally Cute, and we'll be right back at you. Hi, everybody. This is Rue, Cutie Rue, coming back, bringing you some more Legally Cute with some Kirby 64, the Crystal Shards with Dark Soul 88. Just before we go into the next game, just wanted to say a few things. For Frost Hotels is going to be coming up. It's going to be starting on Sunday. The pre-show will be starting at 1:30 p.m. Eastern. And anyone interested, you could type in the command FF in chat, or you can always check out gamesdonequick.com/framefatales for more info. And always just remember that your subs and bits help support weekly hotfix content. Please consider supporting our daily content by subscribing or cheering. Also, stay tuned after this for Legally Cute. Well, that's me. So guess what? You're stay tuned for it. Alrighty. We'll go on to and say hi to Dark Soul 88. Hi, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I honestly hate audience. I'm Dark Soul 88. You can also call me Soul. There's a few things you didn't call me, I guess, but that's probably the main one. Yeah, I am here for your next couple of runs.
Yes, you are. I'm excited for Kirby's Adventures 80% UFO, but also Kirby 64, the Crystal Shard 80%, because I actually really do like Kirby 64 like a lot. I think out of all the Kirby games, I would say that one's my favorite.
Yeah, but both of these are pretty good. Probably the main takeaway you're going to see in this is a lot of double fire, because we don't need the shards, so we just need to go fast, and so we're just honestly, let's just get into it. So time's going to start in 3, 2, 1, go. Also, we know how Kirby's copy ability works, or at least I like to hope we do. So we're just gonna skip that. It's a cute little video. It shows off the thing, has a good little track, but it's slow. And I hope you like seeing fire, because we're gonna have a lot of it. Again, we don't really need to worry about the shards, so a lot of the game's puzzles are kind of not terribly relevant. So
now, do you use the double fire because it helps you go fast?
Yes.
Like across the screen?
Alternately, you can use single fire. It's not that much slower. But you do have a little more nuance to it, which you'll see later in the run. There are times where you have to switch away from double fire for one reason or another. For example, so there's a couple of boss fights where we actually don't want double fire because it doesn't really help us. And in those points, there's a chance we might have single fire up until that point.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So this is what we'll do. Don't ask why dark matter turns it into that. We still haven't figured that one out. And that was what we'll do. I hope you were intrigued.
It's pretty fast.
Yeah, the bosses are kind of on the easier side. It's actually one run where 100% varies, because for that fight we ended up grabbing the bomb ability during it, so we used fireworks against it instead. But because we don't have to worry about that block, we just keep double fire and deal with it that way. It doesn't really make too much of a difference. Other things about double fire, Kirby will always travel a set distance with it. So you do need to be careful about your positioning. It's very easy to just use this, run into an enemy, and take a lot of damage on the way trying to get through the rooms. If you do single fire, you have to worry about doing kind of a flow cancel of sorts. Otherwise, Kirby will do a tumble animation, and you can't move again until that's done.
Oh, really?
Double fire is a little bit worse because you can't cancel that with a flow. You have to wait it out.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
You'll see Kirby do this. This should be just enough distance, and we just slide into the next room.
Nicely done.
Also, this seems really into the idea of a big version of enemy for their mini bosses.
I love the paint. I forgot the paint.
Adeline.
Adeline. I do love the whole paint concept, like painting the enemies out and stuff like that. I always love that.
Yeah, unfortunately, this jury's still out with the whole deal between her and Ado. To me, I think they're actually the same character. It's just a weird translation thing. But officially, they really haven't explained. But yeah, you'll watch her bring some enemies to life. We deal with them with a couple of attacks, and now we did KDO 2 Greatest Hits, Part 2. So I'm sure Iron Dragon needs some introduction if you played Dreamland 3 or Dreamland 2. Also, I don't think Dark Matter needs an introduction, but they die in 3 hits to any ability. Or at least with double fire, so they don't really last long. Now she's gonna be mad, she's gonna come down after us, and we're just gonna slide into her and just not bother.
That's a good one. Just slide. You win.
Yeah, and she share a lot of traits, such as painting things that come to life, deciding to take matters into their own hands when they're done, and just slide to them, and they just, that's kind of it.
Yeah. Oh man, this is bringing back so many good childhood memories.
I lost track of how many times I played this growing up.
Did you get all the Crystal Shards?
Several times.
I remembered it was so much fun finding them.
But before and after I started speedrunning this, I have done 100% runs. It's just been very few and far between.
Oh, gotcha. Is 100% like harder in the sense of just you had to get all the shards?
You have to get all the shards. It does take a little bit longer, but not by much. And you get to actually do a lot of ability combos for different puzzles and trying to change things up on the fly. It's honestly a really fun run to do, but it is a little bit difficult because like you mess up certain things, your option is to restart the stage. There isn't a backup sometimes.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
Like 2-1, which will be coming up. There's a puzzle where you need stone and spark. If you lose that on the way through to there, you can't get it. You can't backtrack, so you have to repeat the stage.
Oh, that's right. Well, because you have to have specific abilities at certain points, right?
Pretty much, and a lot of times you just can't backtrack to a previous room.
Yeah.
Also, this,
like you just go forward.
Here's King DDD. He's possessed. Again.
That was so quick.
Don't worry, we're gonna knock the possession right out of him in a couple seconds here. yeah, so the bosses don't get to do a whole lot.
Yeah, it seems like double fire is just, it's double fire. It's so good.
As one of the other Kirby runners has on their own account, they have like a screenshot from someone else who said, "Did someone say double fire?" Honestly, shout out to Swordsman Kirby, by the way. Really good runner. Also does quite a few different games, and he's run this game before in the past.
Aw. It seems like the Kirby community is really, like, I like the whole Kirby community. I like a lot of speedrunning communities, though, so because I just love the communities in speedrunning. Like, each game has their own community most of the time, and a lot of times I meet, like, fantastic people in a lot of the communities.
Honestly, probably one of the best communities I've been in. Unfortunately, I messed up my little trick on Quispy, and now I did it. You can do up to 3 hits when he does the routes. If you time it right. If you don't time it right, you mess up and don't hit one of them. So we're gonna do this because otherwise I'm gonna like fly way off to the side and then have to go back to get the shard. These shards are the only ones that are actually required to get in the game. Otherwise you can't finish the stage.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
And now for 2-1, the stage that likes to make me see, likes to see me take a lot of extra damage because I am bad at position in double fire.
Oh, because of the little flowing enemies and then like the rocks.
It is incredibly easy to just run into one because like, oh, you're like, it is just in front of it or just after it, or the enemy rolls into you after because that's what they're doing. I've died in here. More times than I care to admit.
But I could see why, though, because the enemies are just so, like, they're kind of everywhere, to be honest. This one, though, I like this one.
This is also probably the only stage you really see double fire in 100%. Because you actually do get to make use of it to get through the room faster and to get to the shard a little bit quicker.
Oh, this is the... Oh, I remember this room.
Yeah, yeah. Also,
the sand is going.
Welcome to the sand dross room, as I've heard other runners call it.
Yeah.
There's sand dross. It just opened its mouth for sand.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't for my controller choice, I would be probably doing some sillier things. If you're playing just with like a controller that has an analog and digital output, you can do 2 directions at once and watch Kirby just kind of like slide in place up and down.
Oh, yeah.
That's only on like Virtual Console or like pretty much on a version that's not the N64. on that version, it doesn't work.
That's cool. I didn't know a lot about this when it came to Kirby 64.
That was just kind of a weird quirk that I guess just comes from the emulation. Or at least just from the, you have more than one means of doing inputs.
Yeah. I like learning about it, though.
Yeah, and if you're wondering what the goal game, I
blanket.
tend to just jump right away, because it does take a little bit of time if you do anything else. Although, if we do need to, that is probably our best way of getting food.
Oh.
But you can get tomatoes at the end of it. Unfortunately, that means we make Kirby try a lot. And I am glad I managed to get away from those before they switched me, because that happened a few times, and I'd like to not talk about it.
I mean, I've died to those casually.
A lot of people have died to this casually, myself included.
Yeah. I remember, like, I was like, why? That's not fair, basically.
Also, the same set boxes are a little bit weird, so I have definitely had times where it's hit me, and I'm like, there's no way that should have reasonably hit me.
Yeah.
Just fly up here, we'll avoid this. We don't really need to worry about them. Fire across. Didn't really need to do that, but fine. Make sure you don't go underneath. If you're doing 100%, you would have single fire here, so it's fine. Don't do it otherwise, you will just tumble into the pit, and that's how you lose your ability.
Oh.
Did that earlier this week, practicing it, and just tumbled into the pit and died.
Oh. I've died to those pillars. I remember that.
I think I've done it those a couple of times casually, but in a speedrun, there's basically 0 risk to them, and I pretty much never have to worry about them.
Yeah, because like you're just kind of going through it so fast. It doesn't have time to squish you.
Yeah, now we got this room with lots of smaller enemies, and my positioning decides to be bad for a second. Let's see if we can get through the rest of it. Okay, we're good. And finally, we do have a few rooms where we get to control someone other than Kirby. Fun little fact that's been recently mentioned on like Twitter and the like, and comes from the booklet for Green Collection. They did actually want to make the other ones playable. With Ribbon was going to be like the one you used to switch between them, and that got scrapped near the end and just was DVD only. And with Kirby riding him instead. There really isn't too much to say about DDD. He has a hammer, it hits hard. Well,
yeah.
It breaks things.
Yeah, it breaks like those specific walls, the dark brown ones.
Yeah, it's kind of neat. It makes me wonder what the other two would have been like.
Yeah. I think they kind of do something with KDD like in other games, but I think they were trying to get an idea going on that one.
Well, yeah, there's later games where you get to use them, like Return to Dreamland obviously has like a full moveset. And then of course you've got, say, Tropical Blitz with the DDD Tour. Basically there's a mode you get to use just DDD in it. And I think I just flew way past where I needed to go. We're fine. If I went the other way, there's a mini-boss, and that would have just wasted time, because I don't need to fight it unless I'm doing 100%.
Yeah, it's not Yeah, for 80%, we're just trying to go as fast as we can.
Yeah, if you're wondering, like you saw that little fish, these little fishbone enemies there. It's just a big version of that.
Aren't the fish enemies like the cutter?
Yes, they will give you cutter if you swallow them.
Okay.
You can also hold them over Kirby's head and then we'll just continuously fire. There's the hitbox messing with me.
That was
just barely missed it.
Yeah.
That's fine. We'll just keep going. I wish it would have happened in the other room because I could have pulled out the backup strat of using the ice skates through this room.
Oh yeah, because you could just ski through it.
It's not really any faster. I think it's the same speed as Kirby normally running, but you do a little puree as you jump in the air, and that makes it a little bit safer to get around. Unfortunately, because of that, now we, okay, well, honestly, we really only have to take the scenic route for that one room. This swimming here isn't going to be any different. There's really nothing to it other than just, okay, we're going to go down here, get through, swim up this wall. We save here because there's little bones you'll see. There's one. Those will push you down, and staying up against the wall will keep you safe from all but the very last one. And we're going to move now, because otherwise that one will get in our way, push us down, and if you move the right way, it'll squish you and kill you that way. Don't ask how I know.
So are we, oh, I remember this one. Okay.
Yeah.
This one's like, it has like the electricity and
yes, the light bulb puzzle. Again, this game has a lot of really neat combos, and 100%'s really good. You get to see so many of them showcase like almost everything different use. But then 80%'s like the exact opposite, where almost nothing sees the use because Double Fire is just too good.
Yeah.
Also, flying is surprisingly good. We can fly into these cannons and reset the flight timer because they decided to give it limited flight for whatever reason. Not a fan. But
yeah.
We can reset it twice like that and then go through and fly the room, and that's a lot faster than just waiting for the elevator.
Because yeah, the elevator's super slow.
Yes, and this room, there's faster ways of going through it, but these are risky. Many of runner have tried to do this quick and have gotten swished and died.
Oh, wow.
And of course, you have to reset the stage because you need to get bomb. So you can get bomb as far for the light bulb.
I remember that was like a puzzle in the previous room. If you had the light bulb, it would shine, and then that's what you used to solve that room.
Yeah, that would be sparking bomb. Unfortunately, I don't have an ability, so I can't do like immediate damage, but that's not really a big deal. We'll just work here.
Oh, that works.
And that's not what I wanted it to do, but that's okay. We'll just take single spark, and that's still fine. We can still make that completely work for the boss fight up ahead, and I'm just gonna fly so I don't have to deal with those trying to electrocute me on the way up.
Yeah. Well, plus, I do like double, I think it's double spark. It's where it makes like the sword.
The parabola. It's a really neat one. I like just kind of sitting with it in place because, well, here's Pitch. And we were going to have like a minute where we just do basically nothing while it tries to be an obstacle course. If there's anything you'd like to plug, feel free because we're just going to be sitting here.
Okay. I mean, if there's anything you want to say, if you want to talk about the Kirby community, if anyone's interested in speedrunning the Kirby community.
We are trying to prepare for Forgotten Lands since that comes out in a month. In fact, we've recently appointed some moderators, myself being one of them.
Are you looking forward to the new Kirby game?
You have no idea.
I am too. I'm actually, like, I have it pre-ordered, and yeah. I'm excited.
I don't think that's a question with me. It's been pre-ordered.
It's just more, I think for me, it's just, I love Kirby. Like, casually, I love Kirby. I played most of the games. I think the only ones I couldn't play were
There's only
the...
like a handful. There's only like a couple I haven't played.
Yeah.
Let me see what Pitch is. Okay, Pitch is not doing anything that I was hoping for. Pitch can do a few different attacks, and the best one is if it starts spinning and spinning around, going around this whole thing in a circle. Because if it does that, you can hit it with all three parts at once with Spark or Double Spark. If it doesn't, well, yeah, you'd have to kind of do a slower method. Also, these color-coded things do have a reason you want to match them. If they match them, they do double damage, and if they don't, they only do like 2 units. Unfortunately, since I also only had a single star instead of a double, I did have to take a slower route to do damage.
I mean, you're doing a nice job on the recovery part, because it seemed like double fire was like just really good. And so, and I don't...
It was, and 80% you can kind of get away with doing that. With 100%, a lot of time it's like, okay, repeat the stage in some cases.
Oh, really? Because it's just...
because of the ability combos.
Wow.
Sometimes there is a backup. It's just not as frequent, so you can lose multiple minutes if you mess something up. Depending on like what stage it's in. Like I said, the 2-1 example I gave, that's a really nasty one because you have to repeat the stage. For this one, it's not so bad because of what we use. We did just repeat the room if we had to. But there's okay. To try to explain better, near the end of this stage, there's a set of blocks that requires ice and bomb. Which turns Kirby into a snowman with a bomb for a head.
Yeah.
This makes sense in context, trust me.
It does. I mean, it makes sense to me. I like all the little combos is like probably why this was like one of my favorite ones, to be honest.
And that's on me for throwing for the food. I should have just not bothered, because that tends to happen. But yeah, if something happened and we couldn't get the combo in that room, we didn't actually backtrack in there and reset the room to get it again. So that one's not too bad. Or if you died, you can backtrack to a certain point and still get it. Hopefully we don't need it, so instead we're going to just take single fire and just travel with that for a bit.
Aww.
And yes, that's a giant tit with smaller ones below. And if they are close enough, they will just impale you. Have fun with that.
Yeah, that one was Spike or
Needle, but yeah.
Needle.
I've heard others call it Spike, so we'll count it.
Because I remembered Needle combines with the weirdest stuff.
Every ability in this game combines with each other.
Yeah. It's like
so like fire needles and arrow, fire like needle and cutter. Kirby just makes giant jaws with his arms.
Yeah, it's so big. Like some of those were like odd ones. My favorite ones were the fire or the thunder, I think. The fire sword was one of my favorites.
Yeah, the giant flaming claymore. My personal favorites are the ice skates, and one who will actually get the same play in the run is the fireworks, which is fire and bomb.
Oh, I love the fireworks. The fireworks are so much fun. The ice skates are fun too. I think they were a lot more fun in the water, if I remember correctly.
Never cared to use them in the water myself, and that's more just because everything is really slow in the water.
That's fair.
If I wanted to, I could have grabbed double fire there, but I'm not going to bother. Also, we have a giant enemy crab. We don't need to flip it over, we just need to burn it.
It seems like single fire is like good too.
It is. The way you move around with it, like you've seen, is you'll do the dash, Kirby will start doing the tumble, but you can cancel that by floating, and we very quickly do that without the air puff, and then do it again. And you don't lose much height if you do it correctly. And that's a really good way for getting through in the air. It's a safer method if you're not using double fire movement because, let's say that double fire is hard to use. If you are not used to its distance, it will be tricky. Single fire does do a shorter distance every successive use, so eventually you will have to do this very quickly. And there is a rhythm to doing each of the dashes with single fire. Mostly we just carry it because we don't really need double fire's movement. It kind of messes with the rest of the rooms for now. So we'll just be carrying this up until near the end of up until we get into 3-4, in which case we'll be getting rid of it there. We'll want bomb for a mini boss, and then for the boss fight. Also, if we keep somebody to Kirby's mouth, Kirby won't bonk his head on the ground. And we can just kind of run with the candy and go through everything that way. And then finally, for some reason, they decided we needed to actually have a challenge. So now we have the border going against us, and we have these giant logs. These logs are mean, and if they hit you, they can keep Kirby tumbling around for a bit, and you can take multiple hits from it because of it. Usually only a couple, but it's still annoying. You still don't want to get hit by them. They're still really aggravating. We're actually not to the worst ones of them. The worst ones are actually these next ones. Where if I was on that platform there, they will roll on top of you, knock you onto the platform, make sure that you hit them again. We'll just keep tumbling with the log, and that's how you get multiple hits done to you. And I think I'm a little disappointed if this isn't 100%. This is kind of one of the more RNG heavier rooms, stages rather. Late into the stage, we need Stone and Cutter. And what this does, it transforms Kirby into a stone version of the 6 Animal Friends from Dreamland 3. Specifically, we need Red to climb a wall, which is a 1 in 6 chance, and sometimes that can take a long time to actually get. I've definitely seen runners take bets on how many attempts it'll take to get red. Thankfully, we don't have to worry about that, so we're just gonna keep using single fire cross, and we don't have to worry about being a giant stony hamster, although it is really fun.
The music for this is so good. I like the whole soundtrack actually, but this one's nice.
My personal favorites are kind of later into the game. I like this one a lot too. I like Miracle Matter's track especially. Honestly, probably one of the best boss fight tracks in the series.
Yeah.
In that previous room, there's also another puzzle we would have done for Bomb and Cutter, which gives you ninja stars that explode. Because it uses bomb, and of course, whatever it is, it's gonna explode in some fashion. And that's what I was afraid of. So this wood will actually land as soon as Kirby lands on it. If you're quick enough, you can jump full height and not worry. If you don't, you'll get almost no height, and you might get hit by a log. We're just gonna wait those out. We're fine. Fire over the crab. We don't need to worry about it, and we don't need fire anymore. So we're just gonna hold it over our heads and leave the stage, which gets ready to start for us. Fire movement in the water is okay, but we don't really need it. There's going to be a much faster method in the next room. But first we need to get through this room, and there's a lot of enemies that kind of get in the way. Okay, good. We actually got through it without getting hit by anything, including the ones at the bottom, which can sometimes shoot you. This is unique in that enemies can be held over your head for other actions. So, for example, we have this fish. I'm gonna hold this so I don't get it and hit a rock. If it hits the rock, it will.
It would
the
go
enemy
bye
will
bye.
just die, and then you don't. Then you have to swim slowly.
Yeah,
but with the fish, we can swim quicker, much more quickly, and get through this room a lot faster.
honestly, I love the swim. It's funny though because you can only swim in one direction. Like that's like the level you're at is the only thing you can't like go up and down. You can only go left or right with the fish.
But luckily, that's the only room we ever use it, and we only need to go to the right anyways.
Yeah, that's nice about that. But the fish is fast. It's really, it's like
also
way
not
faster.
the only enemy that works like that. Like fish bones will constantly shoot if you hold them over your head. Rotted bird, if you're in the air, it will actually give you like an extra jump. But only once. Blunts will also constantly shoot while Kirby's holding them. And the crabs will do constant attacks with their pincers. It's the only thing that does it. Oh, I actually needed that. Well, that's a problem. I'm gonna take a backup plan.
Okay.
I don't know how this will work.
Oh, I see why.
Yeah, you would use bomb and start hitting that thing. Unfortunately, we're going to do a very weird strat to do this.
Can you use that one to I'm gonna be quiet for a second.
I should be fine. I just have to. Okay, we're good now.
Okay, good.
I'm gonna need to grab bomb in 2-4. That's all. Because we do use that for acro. That makes that fight much faster and much safer. Otherwise, it's fine. That was just kind of annoying. I meant to grab that enemy on the way, and I just kind of forgot.
No worries. I mean, it's still pretty fast.
It is.
The way
It's just a much scarier way to do that fight.
Yeah.
But you don't want to be going in the circle with it. You want to be staying against the current. But that's fine. We'll just go back here real quick. Go to 2-4 and bring the bomb right as we start the stage and leave.
Yep. I love that.
Pretty much just the equivalent of forgot my wallet.
Yeah. I forgot my bomb. Just 1 second.
And this is the reason we needed that, because we know bomb fishing, because orcas spelled backwards. It is not a fun time without abilities.
Yeah. And it's a pretty longer fight, if I recall.
Yeah, because it'll go back and forth, it will swim around, try to drop on top of you. The fish bone makes it faster because you can hold it over your head and just attack it that way. That's the alternate method. But honestly, it's just better to grab bomb. Like if you don't have bomb, just go to 2-4, get bomb, and come back. It's probably gonna be less of a headache.
Yeah. I mean, the bomb is just like, look how much damage it's doing.
Yeah, damage is pretty standardized in this game. So, like,
is it the same for?
Yeah, most stuff will do about the same damage.
Gotcha.
But that's all we needed bomb for, so we just hold it over our heads and let it explode when we touch the shard. And that's the last bit of water we'll be seeing for a good while. Because now we've gone from giant beach of water. And I also hate that we have this, like, we skip all the cutscenes because that's, also faster. The cutscene for the end of that world is they all just kind of start throwing rocks in the ocean. Just kind of a neat little scene. Kirby starts doing it, puts way too much effort into this practice. To the point where his eyes are closed, he can't see that a giant wave is coming, and the others do, and promptly run away. Kirby gets completely washed up by it and ends up on the beach. Ends up just kind of like, oh. That's why they ran. Level 2s has like Kirby fall over from Hunger, and Adeline draws food for all of them, which is actually a really cute scene. And I hate that we don't get to see those since it's faster to skip the cutscene.
Oh man,
this game is really cute and has lots of just really endearing cutscenes that give a lot of personality to the entire quartet.
Yeah, like it's nice to see the personality of the characters too, because they don't have dialogue really.
No, in fact, the series tends to not have a lot of dialogue in general for a lot of stuff. It wasn't until like the more, well, Superstar did a little bit, but it wasn't until the modern days where that became kind of a normal practice. Okay, we need to be a little bit careful because I can mess up my position in this room because these enemies are not great. Come on, we did the line. Got it. And
nice.
And if you do that, the minimum can carry Kirby quite a bit. And I wanted to try to do it in the last room, but I just didn't have the setup I needed. Kirby to hit the vine, one of the last vines goes really far, really fast. And you'll just like fire across afterwards and basically zoom across the rest of the room. And now we double fire back for now. Trust me, we will be tossing this again later. But for now, we need double fire. It's better. And this will ideally carry us for the next few stages. Not through this room though. If you were... So if you remember Raft, we have Waddle Dee with a minecart now, and we're just gonna be riding along the rails. Something we had bring up before, and I'm bad about doing it. If you jump, you can maintain your speed a little bit, and that is slightly faster if you can kind of remember when and where to do it.
Oh, gotcha.
And make sure you don't, you know, do something weird like fall down or... Yeah, fall down or just hit a rock. Just like you'll just take damage, you'll slow down a bunch for it, and just mostly just hurts your pride. It doesn't really hurt much else otherwise.
I mean, it's always good to go fast. But at the same time, you know, it's always good to have backup struts too, but like when this comes to something like this, it's kind of hard to have a backup strut for that.
Yeah, there's really not much of one of it to just keep, you're gonna keep going anyways, you might as well just deal with it.
Yeah.
The only problem would be if you were needing the shard, in which case, then you might have problems if you mess that part. For this run, obviously we don't need them. I grab it anyways, I'm just too used to 100% or just grabbing the shards anyway, because I play this game too much. And I need to be careful when I position it or I'm going to die.
Oh, this room.
This room isn't too bad at least.
Oh, okay.
I just don't want to like have an enemy run into me or have it drop on me. These little drip enemies will actually hit me. I've had that happen. I've died because of it. Mostly just because my position was not great. And I'm gonna make sure I move a little bit more so I... Okay, that should have me relatively safe now. No, we're good.
Okay, good.
That's on me! That's on me! I mistook it for food.
I thought it was food too.
I was wanting to turn around and get the food. I was like, oh, it's probably in this one. Wait a minute, that's not the food. That's the enemy.
Yeah. It's those little ghost guys, right?
That's fine. I got an idea. I got a way around this.
Okay.
We'll get the showing us off early.
Yeah. It's okay. You wanted to show off another one of my favorite abilities. I requested this. I do love this ability, though.
It's one of my favorites too. I always kind of neat.
I think it's so good.
Besides, otherwise we'd be using double fire back and forth for this room, and this is actually probably going to be faster for this fight at least.
Yeah, because all those little droplets, don't they form?
No, they just do that and that's it.
Oh, gotcha.
There's just a lot of them. That, if you're doing 100%, you would have the dynamite combo here, and that's really good at clearing that room. If you don't, you just use double fire because that's what we would have anyways. In this case, I'm using the lightsaber because I don't have a better option.
I mean, lightsaber is still good, I think. But I'm a little biased because I love that one, so I like all the swords. But I know the fire sword's a little bit slower because you have to like spit it out and then you throw it, I think. If you hold it up or something like that.
You can also swing it. It's basically like a giant claymore.
Yeah.
Luckily, it's not a big deal. We didn't get fire right. We didn't get fire in here. And it will just carry that for pretty much most of the next couple of stages. That's what I was gonna do. We've been carrying that until the end of 4-4, and we just took a slight detour. We hit a snap. It's okay though.
I mean, honestly, the backup strats are working really well.
Gonna be honest, this is mostly coming up on the fly.
Okay, because I was gonna say like I mean, you're doing a good job just like keeping the momentum going, you know, and not losing too much time. Because I know there's some slower strats and it is losing time, but I feel like you're able to kind of.
What happened last time where I died, where I had a run right. Yesterday I had a run where I died in the factory level because I misread my position slightly, and the game disagreed with what I thought was okay, and I got pushed by a hammer with DDD.
Oh.
And then died in later in that same stage because of the other room that has a lot of crushing stuff. Fun 45 seconds.
Oh, I always get nervous when you drop like that for some reason, but I forget that you could just fly.
Luckily, it's relatively safe. I don't have to worry too much about falling here.
Yeah, it's a pretty.
Edge and Blight fly back up without too much of a hassle. The actual death plate is really low, so it would take a bit to actually have to worry about it.
Yeah.
Or as I fall down the pit a little bit, and I have to kind of fly for a second. Or I hit a runner, you know, something like that.
Yeah. I hate Kirby.
Yeah, it's my favorite part of the stage where it just decides to randomly spell out Kirby.
It's the best.
I don't actually know why that exists. Probably should have grabbed a tomato there, but I should be okay. There's a lot of food in this stage because this stage expects you to take a lot of random damage. Like this room, you have a bunch of frogs trying to fall on top of you. Got lava that I can end up going into, you know, like that. Honestly, it's not going to be too big of a deal if I die here. Fire is probably the most plentiful it will ever be in this game.
Oh yeah.
Dying here is more just a blow to your pride because you lose time and you have to repeat part of the room.
Yeah. I mean, like the birds are.
Part of the room, so I hope you like this room. It's great.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of fire that you can catch up with.
Yeah, so I'm not going to worry too much. It was fine. If anything, maybe I should have just died earlier so I could have got a health refill that way. Like, once I took damage in that first room, that was what I should have done. But that's okay. We'll just... I'd like to go this way so I didn't get double fire. Okay, we didn't hit the lava. I actually thought it went for a second there. Never mind, we hit the Bobo. It's all good. The game's balancing and all that. And this is probably one of my favorite rooms with DDD because the other thing that DDD can do is actually charge the hammer swing, and this breaks tougher blocks. Otherwise, you would have to do 2 hits for each of those, since the first hit will crack it, and then the second hit breaks it proper. Except for those small ones. The small ones still don't need 2 hits. But these ones do. In fact, let me demonstrate on this last one. See? And that's what happens if you hit it the first time and it's not strong enough to hit it and break it. And that's the broader bird decided it didn't want me to hit it. And that's also the dollar decided it didn't want me to hit it. And then Didi just eats Kirby across because, well, you're done. Kirby's like, okay, I need to go this way. All right. Toss. This comes up later. It also happens in the factory stage. It's kind of a funny scene to me. Like, somebody to definitely imagine Didi doing. It's not the first time he's done it either. Like, if you play Kirby's Adventure, which we've seen that later, like, he kind of does it there too. The Kirby into the air to fight Nightmare. And that's kind of the reason in that fight where, like, you do have a timer, because Kirby is not flying. Kirby just sits really high in the air and is slowly falling. You do eventually hit the ground and die. Anyway, I hope you like lava chasing, because here's some lava chasing us, and this rubber bands. This actually will keep up with you. So, like, I'm moving really fast with Double Fire here. That's actually not as fast as you think. The lava's not that close, not that far behind, and it's just constantly zooming with us. But if you just barely make it out behind us, it's coming.
Oh man, that placement during that whole section.
Yeah, somehow the one room where I'm like pretty okay with the movement.
I just like there's like enemies, lava everywhere, and you only have a certain place to stop.
And if that wasn't enough, then the lava starts coming at you vertically, so you have to worry about it that way. Luckily we did just fly and get away from it. It doesn't rubber band either, unlike the other one. We tried to cut her here because we want the giant flaming sword for Madman, and then that's it for the for 4-4. Now let's see if we actually did this, because if we mess it up, I know it backed up. I'm just not gonna like it.
I'm rooting for you.
Okay, we got it. And we just hold this out, and yeah, it's a giant flaming sword, and this thing's wide enough to just hit Madman with no problem. Yeah, if you're wondering, no, you don't swing the sword at all. We don't need to.
You're just facing the direction.
Just facing whatever direction I don't need to face.
Funny. If I would have done that in this fight, I wish I could have done that as a kid. I didn't do that.
Also in a lot of the Virtual Console versions, this fight can actually freeze. I've definitely seen runs where the game just ow. Okay, that's fine. We'll just wait for it to come back up, and then we'll finish the fight. But yeah, we do 4 hits. We take the double star and then just throw the double star at it. We don't have to worry about the rest. But yeah, this fight, I have seen like runs where they get ended because it actually froze and they have to like restart the console. Don't know why it does it. I don't even know if like the if it does it on console. I just know it does it on the Virtual Console releases.
Interesting. I haven't played the Virtual Console yet.
It's not much different. It's a little bit faster because load times are definitely improved compared to playing this otherwise.
Gotcha.
Make sure I don't. Okay, we're fine. I didn't meet. It's fine.
This is fine.
The penguin.
That penguin that was chasing the whole entire screen.
Yeah, the penguin will just keep just like spoons upon seeing Kirby, just keeps running. If I had jumped quick a little bit quicker, I should have been able to grab the other food and I would have been okay, but that's fine, we'll just repeat the room. It's fine. Not the worst run I've had.
Oh. The penguin's so cute though.
It is. I just kind of wish it didn't run like into Kirby.
Yeah. Or like, well, it should have like a radius of how much it runs, not the whole entire, because that penguin was chasing you.
Funny enough, that actually works to our advantage in 100%. Because the way we did bomb and ice for the snowman, we actually used that penguin and let it run across the room and get to the bomb enemy on the other end, and then we inhaled both of them at the same time.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, sometimes the perks work for us. That time it didn't. And now we have the final Waddle Dee segment where we're on like a little sled.
So cute.
This is probably my favorite one, just because of like it's a sled. You got this nice snowy, wintry stage.
Yeah.
And you're just going like above and under igloos.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, like the water one is and then the rail, I'm just kind of
I kind of like the mine part too because of the music for that stage.
Yeah.
The rap one's fitting, but this is my favorite.
Yeah, this one's my favorite too. I think this one's like a little bit harder too, if I recall.
It is, and thanks Waddle Dee, you've been great. You'll be out of the snow in no time, I'm sure. And we'll just get rid of this enemy very quickly. But yeah, we just double fire into the wall, and it just hits it like a bunch. And if I set this, okay, I should have it right. I should just land perfect. And we'll just do this to the room. This is actually, I finally figured out the movement for this recently, and I kind of love this room. This is just jump, fire across, and that's pretty much it. It's kind of a satisfying room. Need to be a little careful for those enemies because they will throw rocks. I was not careful. It kind of taunts you by that little animation afterwards.
Yeah. Those little guys with the rocks. I don't know which enemy is my favorite. I think the penguin might be my favorite so far.
You would have a hard time deciding the favorite.
Yeah, there's so many different.
This has like one of the more varied numbers of enemies. There's a ton of different ones, and a lot of them don't show up after this game for some reason.
Yeah, that's right.
Like 3 has the same problem, but some of them have shown back up, and for that matter, we have one that's recently coming back with Forgotten Land because they decided to bring it back and it is ice. Or at least I think it is ice. I might be wrong on that, just I don't have that kind of info yet.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie, I was kind of hoping there would have been a demo for that game during like one of the last trailers, and there wasn't.
Aww. That's unfortunate. I mean, I know it's gonna be like it's about a month away.
Like exactly a month now.
Yeah. Because it's coming out at March 25th?
Yep, so exactly a month. Or, okay, not quite because, you know, February is a weird weird month. It's close enough though. It's gonna be great.
I mean, honestly, the less days is better in that sense, because then you can play it sooner.
Exactly. I mean, I know I'm gonna be playing the absolute heck out of that game when it comes out. I'm almost guaranteed to be trying to speedrun it, probably after I do a couple of, like, a playthrough too.
Yeah. I'm excited to see, like,
no, I'm okay. Kind of slightly off, and I kind of just hit the wall and did nothing.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I'm excited to see the leaderboard for this one, the new one coming up.
I'm honestly curious how the movement's gonna actually be, because we really haven't seen a lot yet. like we've had some speculations and like Coco, like maybe we'll see something like Jet come back. Because it's been a bit since we've seen that ability, and Kirby seems to have a sort of limited flight in this one. I don't know if it's gonna be like this game's where it's like actually like a limited time duration, or if it's just Kirby can only go certain heights. We haven't seen yet, and if I've heard the case, then oh yeah, by the way, that one just is like for some reason that one just takes a ton of hits and just gets chewed up very quickly.
Oh, the red star.
I was wanting the food, but that's fine.
Yeah, I was thinking the meat, but that's okay.
That's fine. We're just gonna go through a ball.
Yeah.
It's abandoned because we don't know what happened to Shiver Star, and I don't think we want to know. Like whatever happened here, it's a mystery and best left unknown. But yeah, we have a mall. We have, you know, this is the first floor. You know, just blades and rocks and spikes.
And spikes and rocks now, yeah.
That's fine. We're just going to go up to the second floor, where we have basically cutlery. Now we have our third floor where we have our pet aisle. So if you like a frog, you can come here. Fourth floor we have more pet options if you like spiders for some reason. And then our fifth floor, they decided they don't like you, and now they're just gonna start throwing actual things at you.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe somebody wants a pet Fortnite.
Maybe. But
And
I don't...
it sixth floor, the cannons. That's not how I wanted that to play out. Can I get another hit at least? Okay, good. Got another couple of hits. Now, if we waited here, Adeline would be drawing like different fruits, and we'd be matching the colors. But we don't care, so we're just gonna just let her draw and run. And hopefully get through this room safely, because we've also hit the furniture section, and these things are not terribly stable and like to fall.
Yeah. Although you went through it pretty fast. We're back to the frogs.
Back to frogs. We got to the aquarium.
Yeah, we're back to the aquarium.
Now we're over in hardware. We're gonna cut through appliances real fast while we're at it.
Yeah. Now we're in the TV electronics?
Yeah, pretty much appliances. And now we're in the aimbot room. These shot stones have really good aim and can very easily hit you. But I have never seen a cannon that has led the shot as well as these ones do. Luckily, we got through that without having to deal with it too much. And now for the infamous, the factory level. Probably a lot of people's favorite track in the game, the factory inspection.
Oh, really?
Yeah, this is a very popular track, and it's easy to see why. It's also one of my favorites. I do love this track a lot. Maybe not as much as 5-2's, which is a remix of Butter Building. But this is still a really good track. I mean, this to be said for a lot of the game. Also, here's the fun DDD room. You see these things?
That's
yeah,
right.
these run on a cycle, and hitboxes are weird.
I don't like this room. And then you're on a conveyor belt that actually moves.
It actually moves. You have to constantly jump around so you're not so you can move a little bit faster. We're gonna wait this one out because this one tends to get me. But if I try to play that one too quick, it will usually hit me, and that's the unfortunate part. Like, Kirby is part of the hitbox.
Oh.
You like Diddy is a big hitbox, and then you also have Kirby on top, and Kirby kind of also counts as hitbox.
Yeah, so you do have to like consider that.
And it's also pretty much the last time we get to do anything with DDD in the game, sadly. Well, at least with him as a playable entity. I did try and get that. That's fine. We're actually really good on health this time. Definitely been on here in like worse conditions.
Oh.
Just headbutt the enemy so they don't hit me. And we'll just pop that up. Got it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, this would be the actual moment we use Electric Cutter. But before anything in Hundo, because in 100%, there's a cage that we use it for. Otherwise, we're just going to be mostly using to deal with this giant bird.
I love how like, oop, we're done.
Yeah, we just kind of smack it around a little bit, throw the double sword at it, get fired back from the enemies here, and deal with more things wanting to crush us. If you thought the game was done being very hazardous, no. Just started.
Oh, nice slide.
And this is a very scary room. It is way too easy to just mess up your movement and die.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna make that. I'm not gonna chance it. We'll just take it slow. Like if you die here, you have to repeat this whole room, and you don't have fire, so you have to do it even slower.
Oh, it would be, yeah.
And then you have to do the next room slower, which is less than ideal.
Yeah.
Luckily, we're almost done here.
I get so nervous. Okay, you're done.
We're done with it. It didn't get us. That's all we needed it to do.
I mean, I'm not the runner, but I get nervous just because I'm just
I get nervous watching it too. You're not alone.
I'm just like, that's so... But it was nicely handled. That was nicely done.
Yeah, this room I kind of like a lot, just the fire momentum just to be carried a little bit when Kirby floats, and that this is usually just to the next, right. I was hoping that didn't happen, that's fine. But we grab Spark here at the end, for the next boss, HRH/HRE. It has 2 modes. And each mode is a different name.
Oh, really?
Yeah, HRH is this one, and then the forming takes after this HRE. This boss is very RNG heavy. It has a few different attacks. It can throw bombs like that. It can do a laser. It can do a slapping motion with its arm. This is not scripted, by the way, so it's really being good about that. The attack we really wanted to do is like a motion with both arms, where it puts them together, slams them down, and we can get like 3 hits during it. This attack here. So it does that. Okay, I didn't quite. Okay, I got it anyways. That's the attack you wanted to do. The more it does that, the better. It usually doesn't like to. Ow. Oh, I thought that was okay. Fine. I'm sorry I spoke against you. Here's HRE, and this also has different attacks. It can fire like a giant missile. It can do scissor stuff with its 2 arms. It can fire those bombs at you across the room. And when you do the half health, it does that attack. That's the only time it does it. You don't have to worry too much. If you have Spark, you can just kind of stay under it, and it's actually really safe.
I did have a question in chat. What's the difference between HRA and HRE? What do they stand for?
I don't actually know.
Because I didn't even know there's 2 different names, to be honest. I thought it was just one.
Yeah, the game has enemy cards for every enemy in the game, and that includes them, and yeah, they actually have like 2 separate cards. I don't actually know what the H or the E stand for. I don't know if anyone actually knows what they're saying for.
I'm kind of curious now. That's a good question.
The funnier part is they kind of like redid that. They were gonna redo that in like the Lost Kirby GameCube game that got canceled. And that did come out later in Return to Dreamland as HRD3, which that was a little more obvious what that meant to stand for.
Huh.
Anyways, yeah, we have a giant saw blade as a mini boss. We needle goes through the floor and we just kill it that way. Could have also kept Spark, and that also worked. You just held Spark the entire time and it just kills itself.
I see that maybe the names might have been Homestar Runner allies and Homestar Runner enemies. I don't know if that makes any sense.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, if it's correct, that's an interesting.
It's not.
name.
I don't think it stands for any. I don't know what it stands for, but it's not
that.
But that's
Okay.
kind of funny.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
funny, I'll take it.
The creative names for the abbreviations. Oh, I like this music here. This is one of my favorite.
Yeah, this one's like probably one of the creepier stages because of the music. The background, like when you first get here, is just completely covered in dark matter. You can tell something isn't right. And it's kind of jarring after the first room, where it's just like everything's bright and cheerful and happy, and it's just like a 1-1 repeat. And then you get here, and it's like, oh. Oh, right. Ripple Star's not seen the best of days lately. And then you also have this like short little stage where you get some help from the others. Namely just DDD and Adeline. Okay, we got that one, that's fine. It's actually probably one of the shortest stages in the game, regardless of how you play through it, because there isn't too much to it. It's mostly trying to get to the castle to storm it. One last candy for the road. We just kind of break through the blocks, skip through here, and that's it. The music just gets cut. And there we go. We're actually in the castle, ready to make our way to the top. So this is pretty much the last real stage of the game. We have like a little enemy rush where we have to go through several rooms like this where there's a lot of enemies. We get the bomb enemy here, we get fireworks, and this is our way of getting through the rest of the stage. Fireworks has a really good radius that extends up to 3 hits. And that lets us kind of just deal with the enemies about as quickly as we would with the 100% method of using Sparking Cutter.
Oh, I could see why. Yeah, it has a good range on it too.
Yeah, that one you just kind of like, you also run back and forth. It's just a little bit different in how you go about it. I kind of like this one more because the fireworks ability was one of my favorites even early on.
Yeah, and you can kind of like consistently do it because like each firework, it doesn't stay the same, right? Like it's a different firework each time you do it.
It's slightly different, and you can tell like what the range is for each one. This one we don't need it, but just kind of head bonk each of those and run through. Yeah, now we actually get some aerial attack in, and we get to actually like really show this ability off.
Yeah, it's a good ability. Like it's really underestimated, I think.
The only downfall is once Kirby does it for the 3rd time, if he's in the air, he has to fall for a good while or hit the ground to start doing it again.
Yeah.
I think this is the last. Okay, there we go. That's the last one of those rooms, and here's the actual last room where, yeah, these are dropping from that thing up there.
It's a surprise. Although I think this game has been out for quite a while now.
About 22 years now.
Yeah.
And now for the final boss of this run, Miracle Commander, are we gonna get... No, we are not. Never mind. The best luck is that it does fire with bomb first, so we can, actually take advantage of that.
Oh.
Because the only way you can damage it is with the same ability that it's currently using. So if it's using fire with bomb, we can use that against it. If it doesn't, we have to do this.
So it's just bad RNG on that part.
Pretty much. It's not a big deal. You lose a little bit of time, but it's, you would have to toss it after one of them anyway. But this boss is very patterned. If you know how to deal with it, it's actually surprisingly not that scary of a fight. Other than Spark. Spark phase is a pain, and nobody likes it. Okay, I was able to get that, make that one work.
Yeah, that was pretty. You got some solid hits in that one.
Each of these take 3 hits except for Bomb, which takes 2 hits. Or in this case, it takes 0 hits because I failed to hit it entirely. Which is fine. It'll come back up, we'll do another shot at it. This one's also not a fun one because it can be a little sporadic.
Yeah, it takes a while. I like this one. This one was a good one.
This one's probably one of the easier ones because, yeah, you didn't just kind of jump with ice, and Kirby does like a spin with it, and that makes it really easy to hit. With any luck, we'll be fine here. I'm going to be very careful so I don't die.
That's fair.
Okay, good. Now we've just got Bomb. Okay, can we get a hit this time?
Oh,
that's right. It just goes back to it.
Okay.
It can't go to a form it's already defeated. And time.
Nicely done. Good job.
That is probably overestimate.
Let me look. I would say it's timed. Let me see. I'm just waiting. You're very, very close to estimate.
Okay,
very
actually
close.
actually slightly under.
Yeah. But hey, nicely done. I mean, you did have some good recovery, like, backups on the fly. So it worked out.
Yeah,
it worked out very well.
We saved Ripple Star. We drove out the dark matter. Things are great.
Yeah.
You know, we just watch them take off. You don't have to worry. Everything is perfectly fine.
Yeah, exactly. Alrighty,
They're
so
fine.
yeah. On that note, we are gonna take a 5-minute break again, and we're gonna switch to the next game with Soul, the Kirby's Adventure Any% UFO. I'm looking forward to this one too. I love Kirby, so I'm biased.
This one's also pretty good. You were saying that there's not a lot to it. No, UFO actually does require a bit of finesse to really work around.
Yeah. Well, so in the meantime, we'll take a break and we'll come back and bring you some more Kirby to everybody and show off how cute it is. We'll all see you soon. Stay tuned. Welcome back, everybody. This is Kitty Roo SR bringing you some more Legally Cute and some more cuteness of Kirby with Soul. We are going to be playing Kirby's Adventure Any% UFO. And whenever you're ready, take it away.
All right. Yeah, well, welcome back. I hope you liked last run. We're here with a little bit more.
And I was honestly, that run was really good, and I'm excited for this run too. So whenever you're ready,
hopefully this one will do pretty well. So we'll just go ahead and start it. So 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so if you're wondering the difference, like, okay, what's the difference between runs here? So there's 3 categories. There's Any%, which is basically a glitch run. You have no major glitches where you don't get to do this, and then you have UFO, where let's see if we can do this. Okay, we got the UFO. We didn't get the other part of this. I'll do the other more tries. If I don't get it, it's fine. I know another alternate. Okay, we finally got it. Okay, so 80% UFO, or the UFO with the screaming Kirby inside. The best way to put this is, one of the major glitches of the game is, if you take a hit on the same frame that you drop an ability, Kirby will kind of retain something, and if it changes its form, he keeps the ability itself. Like if it's a sword, because Kirby changes his form to have a sword, you get to keep that. If it's UFO, you get to keep UFO, whereas otherwise the game would make you lose that ability as soon as you leave a stage. UFO is kind of overpowered in that it can do a lot of stuff, it can do a lot of damage, and pretty much nothing really gets in the way except for ladders. This thing cannot climb ladders, so there are certain spots where we have to ditch UFO to kind of deal with that problem. Otherwise, you see like the mini boss like that just kind of doesn't really get a chance. This game is also very laggy because it's a very late NES game, so we do try to kill some of the enemies for lag reduction. The laser attack's kind of our best option for it. There are 4 levels of charge. There's a beam attack, my personal favorite, but it's a very laggy attack. There's the laser, which is very quick, and it's probably the one you're going to see the most. And then there's also a single and double star, and we use those to deal with deal with bosses. And sometimes enemies if we charge a little bit too much. It's very easy to kind of misread your charge and do more than you actually need it to do. It's also easy to do less than you wanted to do. I have definitely charged lasers and gotten beams instead.
I just think Kirby looks so cute on the UFO.
I kind of love it. It's adorable. There's also art I think that James Turner has done. Like if you follow his Twitter, one of the art directors for Game Freak.
Oh.
Or at least for Sword and Shield. He does lots of little doodles on Twitter, and they frequently feature Kirby.
Oh. I didn't know that. That's really... I'm gonna have to check that out.
Yeah, there's one I think he did not too long ago, which does have Kirby in the UFO, and it's like waving to Ness.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, I have to see that. The precise... Okay, so the laser, you're like... I see that with the laser.
It is
it
very
like
thin, it goes in a straight line.
Yeah. It's like super small window, right?
Yeah, it's a very small window, like you barely charge it forward than the beam than you would for beam. And if you do it much longer than that, then you did the star. Also, this is Wispy Woods. That was Wispy Woods. Expect this for almost every boss, because the bosses don't really have a chance either, because we just double star them twice, do a single star, and that's it. The boss is dead. The only one that really gets like a chance to actually do anything is Meta Knight, and only because he forces us to not use UFO. Otherwise, you do kind of need to be kind of precise in your movements, because it's kind of easy to run into enemies if you're not careful. This game can also be input, and we're gonna drop UFO here for now. We'll put it back in a couple stages. A number of our runners, part of the Japanese community, Shiro Kirby, found pretty much ended up doing like a safer route that backtracks and loses like up to a minute. But it's a much safer run. It's much nicer for like a marathon setting or stuff like this. Because otherwise you get UFO in a stage and then you have to do that whole like run into an enemy and drop it on the same frame thing again. And that can be really tough, and it can end your run if you just don't manage to get it. So instead, we just kind of treat this stage and a later one like it's 80% no major glitches, and we use the other sword to show Tornado. Tornado is very good. It has really good movement. The lag works heavily in our favor because we can just stay in the enemy and just kind of hit it a ton until almost any like mini boss right away.
Wow. Yeah, I can see it's a really good movement.
Unfortunately, it is slower than the other strat, which would be we get wheel. Like we killed the drain wheelie with UFO's double star, and then we just grab wheel.
Oh. Because wheel is fast. It goes across the screen.
Wheel is fast, it's just that Kirby's Adventure is laggy, and sometimes wheel is just not that good of an option compared to Tornado.
Gotcha.
Tornado is just ridiculous and amazing. And also, having an ability will let us, if I did it, will let us do, come on, might take a second. Finally.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so when Kirby has an ability, it kind of messes with his sprite slightly and just lets us flip through certain tiles. If you're not careful there, it's actually surprisingly easy to soft lock, and I have done that a couple times. Luckily, if that happens, you can just kind of soft reset the game, and you don't really lose much progress. You don't lose much, but you will lose some time for having to kind of redo that.
I was going to say, is the enemy on the bottom? It was left as the last one.
And I was forgetting that for a second.
Oh. Because, yeah, it looked like it was disappeared or something. I didn't know if that was on purpose or on accident.
It's on the other side. I just forgot.
Yeah. I think it's funny that they could go off screen like that.
But we'll be going back in here because we'll be doing that flip again, this time from the other side. Just this stage does have like a few hidden spots where there's ways to get UFO in other stages, and this is one of them. So you go through this door, and well, there's a UFO. Now the other way you can do the glitch is if you hit start and select on the same frame, so you drop it and pause. You'll know if you did it right because Kirby will drop the star but keep the UFO form, and then we just exit and voila, we are UFO again, and we get to keep it until the next time we have to toss it.
Oh, that is so good. I love seeing all these tricks or the glitches.
Yeah, if I hadn't gotten it in 1-1, what I would have done is there's also a secret door on a waterfall in the second room, and I would have just gotten it there and done the trick. But I would have assumed that A, I messed up the mitts, or didn't get it when I first did it, or I failed to get the mitts the second time when I re-entered the stage. But we got lucky, we didn't have to do that, so we just... that's one thing that didn't get to be shown. Doing it that way does actually lose quite a bit of time as well, if you have to do it. Because it's one of the slowest backtracks that you have to do for a UFO. Ideally, that's the one where we do still use the... where that trick does still get used to try to run into an enemy and drop it. And if you're doing the more advanced harder route, you do that in that stage, you do it in 2-3, and you do it in 3-3. Because we have to drop UFOs there because the ladder gets in our way. UFO can do a lot. The only thing it can't do is climb ladders.
I think out of everything it can't do, that's kind of the funniest one.
Thing that the meat to is a ladder.
Yeah. You can't climb ladders.
It's like oh, you have super. It's like super son. It's like oh, you're invincible and nothing can hurt you. What's the problem? Well, there's a thing called pits.
Yeah. Well, it kind of reminds me, and this is very bizarre, but if anybody knows Borderlands and the character Claptrap, the character won't climb stairs at all. And it's just a part of a personality thing.
I mean, to be fair, they kind of just... The stair climbing wheel got torn out.
Yeah, that's true. It is a robot. And it is a lot of stairs. But I think it's just funny that you can't do the one thing that is super easy to do.
Yeah, like that ladder is actually fine because it doesn't. It's actually goes beyond the actual ledge. So that one doesn't matter. You can go across that ladder, no problem. It's completely a non-issue. But the ladder in like 2-3, no, because you have to actually drop below it. In this one, like you can't go below that ladder.
Oh, ladders are the biggest enemies in the game.
Also, this level in general just has some of the neatest effects on the NES. Like, you have that whole thing where the tower spins as you move. And for some reason, the James remake, Nightmare in Dreamland, does not do that. It instead just has like a fog effect. You have to wait it out.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's not as neat, unfortunately. Also, that was Bugsy. I don't really have anything to say. Bugsy was there, and that was it.
Yep. Bye. Hi, bye. We did a hi, bye. That was really fast.
And now we have to drop it again because, guess what? Ladder.
Ladder.
Now, the interest of trying to see if I can save a little bit of time here from backtrack, I'm gonna see if I can do this. Nope, I'm just not gonna worry about it. We'll come back and get it.
This is fine.
I missed it by 1. Well, that's just unfortunate. Not quite how I wanted that to play out. I'm not too worried. There's a tomato in the next stage, and as long as I'm relatively careful, they don't have too much to worry about. Alright, so what we're going to do instead, we'll just go back into the stage, and I'll get UFO and do the start select trick like I did before. Unfortunately, because of that, I don't have high jump, which would have made that a little bit simpler. I could just grab it back here, so I'll just do that. Speed back up the room. Go through these borrowed birds. Oh. Fine. Okay, we're gonna do a different alternate plan, so I don't have to keep doing the mix. And I hate that I'm having to do this. So, the other thing you can do is you know the 3-2. If you mix with stone first, you will guarantee for that mix to end in UFO. And we can just do that. Unfortunately, it's a lot slower, so I was trying to kind of avoid that, having to do that.
Oh.
In no major glitches, we also use this because finishing the stage with UFO is a lot faster. I missed it on needle first. That's fine, we'll just try again. I think it just happened again, didn't it? Yes, it did. Okay, come on. This is kind of embarrassing now.
It's okay. You got this. You got this.
Oh, okay. That's what's going on. The other one hasn't spawned. I'll just do this. Now it should be good. Now it should do what I want.
Oh, there it is. Yay!
Yeah, that's the mix I want. Okay, that only took like a minute.
Yeah. I mean...
That took like a couple minutes. That's fine.
You got this. I mean, we want to see more UFOs.
Exactly. It's called 80% UFO for a reason.
Yep.
And that is me messing up my charge slightly. These maces can eat your attack, so the double sword is useful for just kind of breaking through that way. And this room I kind of don't like with the UFO for just one reason. So you have to go down, you go down slower in general. This wind constantly pushes you, so it just constantly wants to push the UFO straight to the top. And then you have to go into this door, which has like a very small box of actually being able to enter it.
Oh boy.
It's very easy to just like go down, start trying to get to the door, and then go over the door because the wind is really fast. Luckily, that's the only room like that in the entire game, so we don't have to worry so much about it.
Okay, good. You don't have it
this is
later.
Bonkers. That was Bonkers. Hope
By
you enjoyed
Bonkers.
them.
Yeah, Bonkers was bonked by Kirby.
If you're wondering, no, no major glitches and no different. The only difference is we use tornado instead, and that kills them about as quickly. You will get to see another instance of tornado going through a mini boss though. But that won't be for a bit. That'll be the last time we have to get drop in get UFO again. Until then, we did actually keep UFO for a decent while. Just trying to keep attacking enemies and doing life reduction where we can. Both of their starmen like to jump, and we'll generally try to jump into you if you try to just speed through. It's better to attack them and just not have to deal with them. Anyways, we have Shiny Bright, Mr. Shiny, Mr. Bright coming up. We have a thing, at least in the Nightmare Dreamland runs, where we choose a side. In this one, we don't care because we're a UFO and we just attack the screen.
That was so fast.
Why choose a side when you can just choose every side? And yeah. So don't have to deal with the boss, really. And we'll get rid of that Sparky. Spark attacks in general like to create a lot of lag. And so do beam attacks, that's why we get rid of that Waddle Doo.
So what got you into Kirby speedrunning, just in general?
Honestly, I've been playing these games since I was a kid, and really it's just a giant passion thing.
Aww.
But I played a lot of these games, probably to hell and back growing up, especially the earlier ones like this one. And it's just kind of an extension of that.
Aww. Well, I mean, they're fun speedruns, honestly.
Yeah, this also kind of turns a lot of stuff on its head in a way because, like, generally, like, Kirby games are meant to be really easy games. They're more for, like, a beginner. And then speedrunning it is probably a bit of the opposite in some respects.
Yeah, it seems like there's a lot more, like, you have to really worry about a few things, actually, simultaneously.
Yeah, depending on the game, like, there are some that are actually pretty easy runs, and are very beginner-friendly even at the speed game. Like, for example, Kirby's Dream Land, okay. That might be a little problematic. I was hoping I wouldn't have that happen. Okay. Trying to think of a good solution to this one. May have to actually resort to the spark strats. Needle will probably be better because it's less lag, but that's fine. Just come here and I'll just deal with one of them this way.
Oh my goodness. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, this is why Spark is kind of not a great ability. It creates a lot of sprites and a lot of lag. But Spark does pretty high damage and does kind of deal with enemies pretty quickly.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. That was so much lag.
It's fine. I do have a way around this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to soft reset the game. And here's the thing. If UFO enemies die until you go to a new level, they don't, or soft reset. If you do one of those two things, they respawn. Any other time, they never respawn.
Oh.
Since UFO's like really easily wrapped in this stage, we're just going to get through here real quick and I'll just get UFO again. So there is a few backup strats if you lose UFO somehow.
That's good to know. I still like this one.
It's just that none of them are pleasant.
Yeah. I don't know why, but I like this this glitch. It's so good.
Funny enough, I did kind of find out about the glitch slightly as a kid, because I did accidentally do the Sword and Select thing before. Oh,
really?
Yeah, I was like, yeah, I did that. I was like, oh, that's weird. And then it was like, wait a minute, Kirby's still a UFO.
That's actually really cool. So you kind of found it like super early.
It's definitely not anything I discovered by any means. It's just something I stumbled upon as a kid, and I'm sure I wasn't the only one.
Yeah. I mean, it's still fun to watch it though because like you're still transformed and then the star is still there. I don't know why, but I like it.
Yeah, not to mention you don't get to use, like, you get, normally you only get Yovo in a few stages, if either through like a secret room or just that's the one stage they happen to spawn in. And that's the only stages you otherwise get to do it, or you have to do a mix so you can use it that way, and then you have to do it again every stage because the game gets rid of it. It's overpowered on purpose, so they don't want you to keep it like this. This is not what the devs intended.
Mm.
It is, however, really fun and pretty fast. And besides, how things to like it enough to make a game about it?
Yeah. I'm sorry, but this whole like Kirby's UFOs, I don't know. It just makes me smile.
So we have Rolling Turtle, and I mean, did you spend anything else on Rolling Turtle? It's UFO. This thing is just kind of destroys everything in its path if you let it.
Yeah.
To be fair, Rolling Turtle's kind of one of the scary ones. It can grab Kirby, and it's not a big deal. Like, you won't lose UFO in the case of that one. But it is annoying, and certain abilities like Tornado actually don't keep you safe from those attacks. The Rolling Turtle and Bugsy can actually hit you out of grab you out of Tornado and still hit you.
Oh wow.
But even in No Major Glitches, you do have to use a different ability to deal with them. Okay, that's on me. I'm just trying to like ran into it. Oh, come on. That's on me. I just kind of misaimed it completely.
But it seems like the UFOs, like you have to be in the right movement.
You do. It moves really fast, so it's very easy to just kind of like miss it a little bit, or you miss an attack because you charge it slightly off. And that's if the game doesn't eat your inputs, because unfortunately with the game's lag comes eating inputs every so often, and that's never fun when that happens.
Oh, yeah.
I definitely had like the instance where I'm like pressing the button and there's like 3 times where the game actually takes it and then lets me do the same.
Oh.
Feels a little risky, but we should be fine for this stage as long as I don't do anything too reckless or get too unlucky. Okay, that's the room I was mainly worried about.
Okay. I've been worried about a lot of rooms right now, but that's just me. Like that spike room got me on the edge of my seat.
Luckily, there's a lot of healing in that room, in that stage. There's a pepper that's near the end of the first room. There's a switch you can hit if you really need health. It does unlock the thing, but it also gives you a full health refill, and that's incredibly useful in a lot of situations. Or at least in some situations where you're like, oh, I'm at 1 health, let me just go into this door and get like a full heal. And then there's a pepper at the end of the stage that you can grab. So this is Fracto. It normally would be a lot more involved, but thankfully we don't have to worry about it.
That was so cool.
Fracto is a pain. Like,
it is, yeah.
In almost every instance of it in the series, it's a very RNG heavy fight. Dealing with it is kind of like a lottery. There are ways to manipulate it. I forget if this game has one for it. Anyways, we're gonna drop UFO because the next stage, 5-2, does have a ladder that we can't go through. So we actually tried Tornado, and this is where the routes kind of converge. Like at this point, this is actually what we do even under the harder strats. Because compared to like grabbing Tornado between grabbing Tornado or basically doing the entire next stage without an ability or with something like Sword, Tornado is an infinitely better option. So what we'll end up doing is we go through the next stage with Tornado. This is the other stage that under this route would be like an 80% NMG number glitches run. And then afterwards we'll go back to 5-1, miss for UFO there, and do the sort of select trick. And then we shouldn't need to do it anymore. That should be the last time we have to get UFO unless something happens where I die. And don't worry, there's definitely moments where that's a possibility, either because I mess up my movement, or it's the wind tunnel in 7 to 5, and I hit the flamer.
Oh.
Yeah, if you hit an enemy that electrocutes or sets Kirby on fire, Kirby does like this really long animation that doesn't end until after you've hit the ground or fallen for a very long time. In this game, I believe it's until Kirby hits the floor. If you hit the pit in the wind tunnel, the only option there is to fall down the pit and die. And that's kind of it. I think Nightmare Dreamland changes it to be just a really long animation, so you still usually die, but it's not as there is a chance to survive it. That's fine. We just drop down here. This room is very easy to reset. I'll demonstrate again. We kind of need to not do that. At least we got it first try after having to drop down the cliff twice.
I don't know why, but oh, there's a. That was so fast.
Yeah, that's one of the other ones that pushes Kirby up. That one's a little, at least, you know, completely in our favor. We don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, that one's nice. I wish like the wind one was kind of doing that one.
By the way, fun little fact with the poppy covers on the apples. Only the apple is the hitbox. So we can just do this. You can just fly over them and they don't hit Kirby.
Oh, that is a fun fact.
It doesn't come up, really. That's like the one stage where it does, and it's kind of a funny little trait about movement in that room specifically. So yeah, there's a spectrum at the end. UFO has very precise movement, so we don't have to really worry about anything concerning it.
So is UFO... That's so funny. You're just only getting rid of the apples. Sorry. Now that I know that, I'm like, oh, those other guys.
Yeah, if it was any different, we could get away with it, but no, the apples will hit us, and they hurt.
Yeah. I was gonna say, in this game in particular, do you have a favorite ability?
Apart from Beam, probably this one.
This one's just so good. I mean, the tornado is good in terms of just like the lag,
okay,
in my opinion.
We're just gonna dig you with that.
But the UFO...
One enemy and Beam has like no lag when there's almost nothing else on the screen.
Yeah. But like, I would say this one's my favorite out of all the abilities.
I also kind of do like Tornado a little bit for what it's worth. Just because the idea of Kirby spinning a lot is kind of funny to me.
Yeah, I can see that. I wonder why they don't have more UFOs in other Kirby games, in my opinion.
I guess I imagine part of it might be just they don't really do a whole lot with the movesets. Like most of the days that UFO does show up in, the movesets are very similar. Unless it's Dream Course. In Dream Course, then you have UFO, which has like its whole weird gimmick of it basically floats and you hit the button to change direction. know that one shows up a few times. I know that one shows up a couple times in runs of that game. At least in the few stages that UFO actually exists in. It's even rarer in that game.
Yeah, because I'm trying to think of... I don't know too many. I mean, at least the ones that I played. I can't remember UFO much.
By the way, that's Firefly. We definitely want to kill that one quickly because that one has like a burn and dash, and it's invincible when it does it.
I like how you're just zipping through the bosses, or the mini bosses.
Yeah, Nightmare Dreamland's kind of unique. That's one of those stages where you use ball to kill it. But you just kind of like bounce up into it, and that's kind of in a dive. And then in certain other runs where you don't have that as an option, I employ what I like to call a laser pointer strat, where I keep Kirby on the ceiling, and Firelight will try to jump at you, and well, can't. Yeah, so it's like a cat trying to get to a laser pointer, and then you have UFO, where it's like the violence version of laser pointer, because you fire a laser at it that's pointed at it. So this is Heavy Mole, and yeah, so the Heavy Mole constantly digs, and honestly, we don't want to deal with that ever. It can get really sporadic if we had to do the fight like normally. And if we as another fight where we would have just used Tornado anyway, so the fight's not terribly different between this and a No Maker Glitches run. But if you have to fight that normally, it's kind of annoying. They can start digging like really fast up, really fast downward, and it's very easy to basically end up in a death flame or crushed by just by the stage changing up like it is.
So we were in water, right? Earlier?
Yes, and Kirby does not move any differently. He moves the same speed.
That's hilarious. I love that.
The later games do not do that. The later games, Kirby does actually factor water physics in and will move slower.
Oh, he's so good. I was just like watching and I'm like, that was water, and you didn't move any differently.
Yeah, Kirby in the UFO does not care about water.
UFO really is like the best. I just
until ladder fit involved.
Yeah.
As we have already demonstrated.
Yeah, I just find that super funny.
And this one's a little bit not great between... Okay, did. I was hoping we would have done a despawn there, because sometimes one of the Gordos can just disappear because there's too much on the screen and have to actually deload something. That's not what happened. It's not a big deal, it just means you can move around a little bit easier because you don't have to like try to either like thread a needle between down to the Starfy or hit the Starfy, wait for the explosion, and then go through it that way. And the danger's ate one of my inputs. The spine
so you actually hit something, but it just was like, nope, nom nom nom.
Pretty much. As long as I'm careful, we should be fine. The next stage does have some healing I can get. I just need to be real cautious until then.
Sending cautious vibes. Heal, food, recovery.
Yeah, so just under that one. You can manage it a little bit faster if you do some life reduction on the enemies and the blocks. I don't want to run the risk of hitting into one of those, so I'll just take the alternate of going to the other side of the stage and I'm going to be doing it that way. Also, I had no business doing that. I should have used the beam attack, so I could have gone through that way. By the way, a little bit of a beginner's trap. If you just hold right, you will slant straight into the coconut and take damage. I've done done that entirely too many times because my instinct when I go into a stage is hold right, and of course there's the coconut right there to hit me.
Oh, yeah. You have to like go right around it, kind of thing.
But luckily we got the first pepper. We're fine. I'm gonna grab this one for safety, just in case.
Yeah.
If we're not fast enough, this didn't actually hurt me. We're good. If you're not fast enough or you're not far enough in like to the left, the explosion radius will actually hurt you, and you'll just. It doesn't really cost too much, but it's also just kind of like, oh, okay. I have seen one runner, Tracy, actually hit that, but it did interact in such a way that Kirby just kept ascending upwards through the rest of the platforms.
Huh.
Still not totally sure how that one happened.
Yeah. I'm kind of curious now. But I would have to see it.
Okay, missed the shot, but that's fine. It's not really a big deal if that one attacks, but it does cause a little bit of lag, and that's what I was trying to avoid. And luckily my health is good enough that I don't have to worry about the UFO family reunion coming up in the next room.
Oh, I would like to see the clip. I want to see the clip of that.
They probably have the clip still. Yeah, this is UFO room or the UFO family reunion. There's a lot of that enemy in there. Their movements are kind of not great. So it's really easy to take damage, and I have definitely died there occasionally.
Oh yeah. Here, let me
They didn't want to actually do that. And there's a mischarge, but that's okay. Okay, and that's the last time we have to see those.
So this makes me wonder, as a kid, what got you into Kirby? Because I understand the speedrunning, but now I'm curious what drawed you to Kirby as a kid.
My cousin actually had this. I liked playing it, and then my mother actually got me this game.
Oh.
And that was kind of it.
Aww. And then Kirby...
I thought Kirby was cute, and I kind of was into the series from the start, from that point on.
I could totally, yeah. I mean, honestly...
By the way, Meta Knight is the one fight that we actually have to properly do. And Meta Knight can block your attacks, can attack you pretty much whenever, and it's very easy to die even at full health. Luckily, we did a health refill between levels, so it's not a big deal. And if we did die, we actually keep UFO in that circumstance as well. Okay, I'm gonna get rid of these two so that Sparky stops doing the attack, because I would like it to stop doing that, because it's just very laggy, and I'm sorry, I'm already doing a very laggy thing by using Beam a lot. Can I outrun the Flamer? No, I can't. That's okay. I could have also done a double star, and that probably would have been a little bit quicker. Anyways, so I hope you want a little more screen time for the mini bosses, because they do get a little more screen time. Not much though.
Okay, that clip, I saw the clip. That is such a good clip of the Kirby burn slowly rising.
Yeah, I did don't know what caused it. And I'm not actually sure if even Tracy knows what caused it.
Oh, it's so good. Aw, now we have some more bosses. Well, are they like, I guess I call them mini bosses personally.
They're pretty much mini bosses, yeah.
Okay.
In No Major Glitches, that's actually handled with, we actually handled that with Tornado and then Hammer.
Well, I have a question from chat. Who's your favorite mini boss?
In this game, it would... In this game, honestly, probably... I have a hard time choosing on that one.
Oh, I guess the person loves Big Will.
I'm sorry, which one?
Big Will. I forgot the Big Will's name.
Okay, yeah, I think I know which one you're talking about. In this game, I kind of like Fireline a little bit. I would guess, like, if I had to make a choice. If it was the remake, they actually replaced Rolling Turtle with with an elephant called Fan Fan, and that was a giant meme. And that was probably one of my favorites. But it was actually got a really cute design. But also it likes to grab Kirby and being the other enemy that has throw. One of the ways it does this is it holds Kirby in its trunk, spins him around, and then tosses him.
I wish I have to replay these again. Because it's been such a long time since I played this. A very long time. Probably over 20 years. I might have dated my age right there, but...
I mean, I can't say much. I've been playing these games for even longer.
Yeah. I forgot how good they were, I guess. Like, it's been such a long time. It would be nice to just replay them for, like, nostalgia. Especially Kirby Crystal Shards. My other favorite one was Kirby Dream Land 3.
Luckily, a lot of these are on Switch, and I know Kirby 64 is a game they're bringing to it eventually. TM.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, unfortunately, because of the N64 days, it's part of the expansion pass, so it does cost more to get that one.
Oh.
But Adventure, Superstar, Dreamland 3, and Dreamforce are all on the service otherwise.
Oh, really? Because, yeah, 3 was, like, my favorite handheld, I think, if I recall correctly. The Game Boy Color one.
The only Game Boy Color one I remember offhand was, Tilt and Tumble. It was Dreamland 2, though. That was a Game Boy game.
Okay.
So it might be that one.
2. Yeah, it might be that one. Let me... Google. Send me. It might have been 2 then. It was the one where like you had to use certain... Oh, no, it is 2. I'm a big fat liar. It's 2. It's because like if you leave Kirby alone on the screen long enough, like you press pause, you start seeing Kirby do some stuff. It's actually kind of cool. And then also...
Dreamland 1 does that also.
It does? Oh, I can't... I just remember 2, although I thought it was 3. But in all honesty, I like 2 a lot because of the combo abilities. Like you had to use certain abilities in certain rooms to solve the puzzles. I really like that.
Dreamland 3 does a lot of that too. That's a really pretty game. Even to this day, it's still one of my favorite art styles and has a really good soundtrack.
Yeah. Like honestly, the handhelds for Kirby's are really good, actually.
And it was my favorite's actually the remake of this game, and that's a Game Boy Advance game. But by the way, 7 Sid is just kind of like a retrial level from Dreamland 1. This was the second game in the series, so they kind of wanted to reference that. Anyways, we have DDD here. Thankfully, thankfully, we don't really have to interact with him much. We really don't want to. DDD has one attack where he can suck you up and then spit you out. This does get rid of UFO, and it's the only attack in the game that will do that. So yeah, you can have UFO like this, and then go back to standard Kirby if that happens. Oh, by the way, it doesn't drop an ability star either, so you just straight go back to normal. Anyways, it turns out DDD was not really the problem.
Yeah. DDD is always kind of like the front, I feel like.
DDD to be a selfish character, like that's kind of established early. Like we have like Dreamland 1 and like other versions of where it's like, yeah, he took all the food, and then you have this day where it's like he took all the pieces of the Star Rod, but also there's this giant nightmare abomination.
Yeah, it's
and
always
like there was a good reason for it. It's really badly executed.
Yeah.
Also, no communication to Kirby that hey, there's a reason I'm doing this. So this is Nightmare, and that is me missing an attack because I did it too slowly. He's very scripted in his attacks. They're very telegraphed. So attack him is relatively easy and not... Honestly, this is a pretty simple fight. But also, you can kind of mistime things because of the way he was around. You can have him where he goes too high, you have to float so you can actually attack him. You do actually have to worry about potentially getting hit. Because sometimes the attacks are just weird. Time will be coming up when I get this last hit in. And
okay. Time. Nice. That was so good.
Maybe I should have run into him and reset the fight, but I'd rather not.
Yeah.
I'd rather not. By the way, pay attention to this moon. This is why the rest of the series has a moon looking like this. Because this day's events have actually been considered canonical ever since, and the moon in the Kirby series has always been a crescent after this day. After this day and its remake, the remake does the same thing. But yeah, that was Kirby's Adventure 80% UFO. I honestly hope you liked both of these.
Oh, I loved them both. Thank you so much for showing them both, and I appreciate them. I love the nostalgia factor too, so I really, I mean, on top of them being ultra cute, but I'm kind of like wanting to celebrate Kirby coming out, so I'm like Kirby all the way, and then plus like
you, me, and quite a few others.
Yeah.
Like we actually have a relay coming up in about a couple of months. I'm actually going to be running in that. I know we got some other stuff down the line. Like I said, we're also preparing for Forgotten Land. Like we're expecting a potential surge of people as that game comes out. A lot of people probably get interested in either just the game in general, running it. If you're interested, we do have like a very good community, a very good server for a lot of the games. If you go to speedrun.com/Kirby, you will find it there. We would honestly be happy to have you. I also was recently appointed as one of the mods for it, so I would be happy to help if I'm able to. Otherwise, like, that's probably the main shout-outs, like, pretty much a shout-out to the community itself. It's really good, really wholesome. Lots of really helpful people that can kind of help you out with almost any game.
Aww.
And we have Forgotten Land coming out, so that's going to be exciting next month.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I want to say thank you again for showing this, and thank you for showing both of the games. And I put in the link for speedrun.com /Kirby in chat for anyone interested. And yeah.
If you want to follow me, you can follow me on Twitch, Dartle188. I had a bit of a snafu when I tried to make the account. I also do stream updates and retweet a lot of cute stuff on Twitter. That's at Dartle88.
Well,
I would be happy to see you at some point if you happen to like what you see here today.
Yeah. Honestly, honestly, it seems like the community is just very sweet. And from what I've interacted, I mean, honestly, there's a lot of good speedrunners out there too. And so it's nice to see like how welcoming everyone is, and that's what I love about speedrunning.
Yeah, we really try to be as welcoming as we can.
Yeah. Well, on that note, we are going to end the show here. I just want to remind everybody, don't forget Frost Fatales is going to be coming up. It's going to start on Sunday. We will have a, I want to say premiere. It's at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you want to check out, you could do the command FF, or you could go to gamesdonequick.com/FramePatels for more info. Definitely check that out this week coming up. I'm looking forward to it. A lot of good runs, a lot of good runners, a lot of good folks. Just always remember, chat, you're all cute. Stay cute. Be comfy, cozy. Have a good rest of your day. And we'll see you next time on Literally Cute with some more Kirby. All right, everybody. And thank you for everyone who was on the show today. And thank you, tech, producers, everybody. I appreciate everybody's work. I hope everyone has a wonderful night. Get some stretches in there. Get some water. And we'll be back. See you all next time, everybody.